And
Or
here
did
we
not actually
go.
finish watching the last session.
That's all right. We'll do a quick recap. So, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen, for episode 7 of Paradym Bold. The Abandoned Keep is where we find our motley crew. Aslan is returning after not being here last session, so welcome back to Aslan.
Hello.
And the full crew tonight, guys. So we have okay, what is happening here with the Discord? Everything's up to shit. Give me 1 second.
It may look like a hat.
I know, I was just looking at it, it's like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh no.
It's like, oh no, everyone's in the wrong place.
I'm not. I'm all good.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But we've lost Aslan.
I don't know. I'll sort that out. Give me a second. We will fix this.
Invisible.
You are
Wow,
invisible.
my new form. My new form is powerful.
I know why it was all disappeared and stuff.
I think that's what your
Because I turned it off.
Trash, can you speak for me, please?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Cool. Turn you up, turn everybody else down.
So who is... Oh, that's a Jillian.
Michael's what?
Jillian.
Hi
Now
there.
now to completely screw you up, I've just put my headset on.
Yay!
Well then.
Correct.
Well then.
You got fucking schooled. So that is a hit. And this only happened because Aslan wasn't here last session. So that's all his fault. Okay, guys.
Always Aslan's fault.
Blame me.
Totally Aslan's fault. But we have ways and means of fixing these. Too easy. Just like that, I think everyone is now in the correct place.
Hurrah!
Right, so for those that were here last week, welcome back. For the newbies coming in, we're going to do a quick recap from last session's show. Also catch Aslan up roughly. Whereabouts did you get up to in the VOD?
I fell asleep last night watching it. One of the last things I remember is you'd killed some kobold.
Okay.
And you were looking into a strange symbol.
Strange symbol. Okay.
Oh, when I got my ass burned?
Yeah. So essentially, we'll go through the recap and then we'll bring Aslan up to speed. So the recap should give you a rough idea. So last session, again, recap from last session. You found your way down a spiral staircase. Namaris was leading the way. You came to a single door, which Namaris charged through, surprising poor kobold and promptly removed its head. While Gillian deftly murdered the second guard with a well-placed arrow down a long corridor. After searching the hallway, a secret door was discovered by Gillian. After failing to figure out how to open it, Het offered some insight into actually turning the lever sideways, not up and down. You stumbled across a secret room. Gillian then setting off a trap, burning himself to a bit of a singe. You discovered a room with a tomb and a chest. Gillian again approached this chest without any kind of consequence or heeding any kind of warnings from his group, and was promptly attempted to be chomped on by a chest mimic, which you guys found, and again defeated relatively quickly. Gillian was covered in goop after being almost dragged inside the beast. Excuse me. Namaris then at the end, dealing the killing blow, smashed it to pieces with the flat edge of her great axe in an absolute fit of rage. Next, she proceeded down a long, narrow corridor. Once again, Gillian's naivety led him to open the door to the dragon's lair, exposing the group. Het's failed fairy fire entered you into combat. Namaris, Aslan, Gillian all rolled into melee, surrounded the worm, tried to melt Namaris with an acid breath, only to piss her off, and after several attacks tried to flee, lifting off to take flight, taking heavy damage from some really good rolls of excuse me, don't know, rolls of attacks of opportunity from the melee group. From there, Gillian dealt the final blow, sending an arrow into the beast's chests. You then harvested the dragon to fulfill your contract. You discovered a silver panther, or albino silver panther in the cage, unhurt, which took an instant liking to Gillian and seems to now follow him around. You also discovered several scrolls pertaining to a prophecy, which you read about, which we can fill Aslan in a little bit later on. And you also found a couple of items that you may need to get identified. A rather flash-looking loot and a set of daggers. The bot is off tonight. The only bot's running is Cloudbot, which is a spam for the chat. So this is pretty much where we find you. We're going to pick it up right before you. I think you guys had decided to possibly look at taking a long rest.
A nap.
You hadn't actually got that far, so we're going to pick up right at that point where you were deciding on how you're going to take your rest, whether you're going to bar the door or whatever. You don't know whether your combat has alerted anyone else in the keep as yet. We haven't got that far. So to pick up, what we will do is I will get everyone to roll a stealth check for me straight off the bat. Okay.
Am I at
And
disadvantage?
Aslan's at disadvantage because of his male armor, if he's wearing male armor, indeed. Gillian, no, you're not.
Gets a 9.
Got the same
I'm not
dice.
with a. I'm allergic to a cat though.
That doesn't matter.
13.
Okay, got a 9.
Roll for your cat as well.
Oh shit! I have to open that up.
Yes, you do.
24 for me.
24 for you.
That's pretty fucking good.
That's pretty good.
He may be the only one.
13. 13.
13 for the cat.
Yes. It's a +8. Like shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a pretty stealthy animal. And
About
Maris,
as
what did you
stealthy
get?
as the guy in armor.
18.
18. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Shit.
So what are you guys gonna do? Basically, you've defeated the dragon. You've fulfilled your contract. You've looted the place. You are now in a large room, the large round room where the worm had made its lair or started to build its lair, and you have an open door. Looks like it's the only door to the room. You did discover what looks like another entranceway or doorway type, almost like it's been hidden to the left hand side of the room. With your perception and investigation checks when you were looking for loot, you actually got high enough to discover almost like a secret door. You haven't really had a look at it yet, but you've discovered what could be a secret entrance as well, which is on your far left wall.
Well, given that we got here late afternoon and working our way down here, probably dark time outside now,
Yes,
I
it would be.
would suggest we set up camp.
Agreed.
Well,
We could do with a
before we
little bit of
do
rest, I
anything,
think.
Aslan, would you like anything from this dragon?
What have we got left?
I mean, we can try to harvest things from it for you. I don't know. You like the meat, so.
Well, there is that, yes. I mean, you did harvest most of the hide. Most of the hide that was usable. You did harvest a portion of the wing bone. You harvested some of the wing flesh, the leathery parts of the wing. Obviously
Yep.
the
skull.
obviously the head you took, and parts of the body that you needed for your contract. So there is still meat on the plenty of meat on the carcass if you wanted to harvest some meat to dry and take with you, or you could put it into the bag, which will preserve it until you get back to a civilization. In which case you could either get it cooked or salted or whatever. It's up to you.
I think I will try to harvest some and pop it away in the easy storage bag.
Okay, roll a survival check for me.
13.
13. It takes you a few minutes, but you manage to carve off a sizable portion. Let's say 15 to 20 pounds of dragon meat. It's young dragon, so it's quite lean. There's not. I mean, dragons aren't known to be quite fatty anyway, but being a younger dragon, it's a lot leaner than most dragon meat.
Can you describe to me the
tender.
dragon's tail?
The dragon tail. It is not a very big tail. It was a. Did we decide? Was it a blue? I can't remember. Was it blue or black? I'm pretty sure it was a black. Wasn't
It was
it?
a black
Black.
dragon.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it was a baby black dragon. So the tail's not fully formed as yet. Formed enough to start to fly, but it's still quite short, and it's got its dark scales across the top, and obviously the lighter grey scales across the bottom and under the underbelly. It's still reasonably intact.
I will leave the tail.
You'll leave the
alone.
tail. Problem.
I'll take the meat, put it in the bag, and
It's not a problem.
start
You do
looking
that.
around for a nice little sheltered part of this room.
So the room is reasonably open. It's probably 120 feet round. It's quite a big round room. It would have probably been used as a throne room or some form of council chamber maybe in its past. Single door leading into the room, which you guys came through, which is still open. You got 4 big pillars in a square in the center of the room, essentially holding up the big domed roof, which has a large hole in the roof, and you can see stars through the hole. Goes up literally through the castle, through the keep ruins, and out. This is how the dragon's been getting in and out.
So, towards the edges of the room, there might be some ceiling cover.
Yes, there would be. It's not
I
cold.
think
It's
if we're
not
gonna make
raining or
camps, that
anything
would
like
be
that,
ideal.
so you're probably okay to camp out anyway. Your biggest concern would be possible hostiles coming from within the keep.
I believe that Ellie or maybe Gillian was mentioning barring the door so something else couldn't come in while we did take a rest, which I think is a good idea as I'm feeling rather worn from use of spells this round.
I would agree. At the very least, closing the door sounds smart.
So
I
who?
guess we could use some of the dragon bones to bar the door.
I was
There's-
about to
there's
say, I'm pretty sure we
plenty,
can find some stones or something.
Yeah, there's
to
plenty of debris.
prop up against.
Yeah, I mean, the investigation check you guys did before, there's plenty of debris in this cavern, like these old tables and things like that would be usable to bar the door. So I'd say no one's going to need to make any checks. I'd say you guys bar the door quite substantially. You prop up a couple old tables in front of it, enough that it probably wouldn't stop anyone from getting in, but it would definitely give them something, definitely enough resistance to alert you if someone did indeed try to make their way through the door.
I might just go to sleep sitting with my back against the door then.
That's the possibility as well.
I was gonna say this dragon bone is not going against any door.
I wasn't suggesting yours.
I'm just saying.
Gillian, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
Nat 1.
That one.
It's a 2.
Oh shit. Okay.
Wow.
Okay then. Nat 1. Holy shit. Where are you on my list of? Here we go. So, holy crap. How
Okay, so
close
just have
how
fun.
close is your companion from you right now?
I was at last. I said I was. I sat down on the ground and like laid down, cuddling with it.
Okay, so you're definitely within 5 feet.
I'm touching it. So
Roll a d6 for me.
oh shit. 5.
5. You feel allowed. You feel a sneeze coming on, but you manage to stifle it. Like and you're not sure why, but you had this tickle in your nose, and you've never had it before, and it kind of takes you by surprise. But you manage to stifle the sneeze anyway, so you're okay.
Okay.
So who's doing what?
Hit
Doors
offers to
barred.
take first watch.
I'll take first watch with that.
Okie dokie.
I'll go and put my little self next to the door, leaning up against it, and I can go to sleep sitting up.
Okay, so Neymaris is sitting with her back against the door. Aslan, where would you be, sir?
I'm gonna go find a nice dark corner of the room. Stay there.
Yeah, there are sconces on the wall which are dimly lit. So there's plenty of dim areas or darkened areas within the room. So you quite easily find yourself a nice dark corner. And
Alan, do you need any dark spots, do you? Or you just want a dimly
Help with
lit
that.
spot?
Either will do.
if you wanted to, yeah. That's right. I don't know what you're trying to do. So yeah. If you want to offer to create a dark spot, go for it.
Just choose a spot, mate, and I'll make it dark for you.
That corner there.
Okay. That corner over there.
So
The
yeah,
corner
so
around room.
so whatever side of the room you chose there was there's a few braziers which have been dimly lit as well, and Alessandra, sort of you point over to the area where you want to be nice and dark, and there's a sconce on the wall, and it just flickers out in an instant, and that whole side of that whole portion of room now is quite dark.
Awesome.
I look at the freshly dark spot. Back to Alessandris. Narrow my eyes slightly, and then walk over to the dark spot.
So Aslan's in his dark space, resting. Neymaris is resting against the door. Gillian, what are you doing?
The north side of that cage.
Yes.
I'm just gonna me and the cat are gonna curl up and cuddle in that little area.
So you're quite toasty warm. So you're for some reason you and this beast have just clicked, and you feel like almost like you know the animal. You know there's something about it that you just can't quite put your finger on it. It's just really familiar. So you curl up and go to sleep. The rest of you guys go to sleep. Het and Alessandris, you are now left awake on your watch.
And before I'd go to bed, I'd tell them that I'd take second watch.
Okay. Not a
Yeah,
problem.
we shall wake you up for your watch.
Yep, we'll definitely wake you up for your watch.
So, you guys drift off to sleep.
Okay.
Alessandris and Het, you are awake and on your
Hey,
watch.
Het,
Yeah, Ellie, what's up?
want to have some fun?
Well, I'm always up for a little bit of fun. What's your plan?
You want large fun or small fun?
Tell me your fun and I'll decide either way.
Well, you got Gillian over there, who's probably still a little bit scared of those chests, I believe.
Yes, after having his ass bitten, I believe you would be.
You fuckers.
You're asleep. Shut up.
Or we can involve the entire party and have something a little bit larger. What do you?
I don't know about you, but I'm a little weary of Neymaris. I don't want to get on her bad side. Maybe we stick it to Gillian this time around.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea.
Fuckers.
Ezelon would be a second bet, but last time I Ezelon kill Gillian, I think maybe we should lay off him for a bit too. So how do we make a chest? Can we go and get that one?
So I take it Gillian's over near the cage.
He is on the north side of the cage, yes.
Cool. So with my minor illusion,
Yeah, and you're well within range, so you don't even have to move. So you don't even. Well, actually, what's your passive, Gillian? I think roll a. Because you'd have to vocally. No, I think you'd be okay. I think you'd be able to mutter it under your breath so that you wouldn't actually.
I mean, the Panther has a 16.
Yeah, but even then, the Panther wouldn't really understand what is being said, so probably would stir, but not actually understand what's going on. So I would say, yeah, I'd say you have no problem casting it. So you cast your minor illusion, and what do you create?
a mimic right next to Gillian.
Awesome. Because it's a minor illusion, it can't make any sound.
That's where prestidigitation.
No, thaumaturgy is what you're thinking of. Prestidigitation is a cleaning spell.
More than that.
Actually, no, it is too. I think you can.
Yeah, I can make sounds. I can make all sorts of stuff.
I believe you're correct.
Fuck my life.
Give me 1 second.
I'm a scarred little boy. Come on now.
You're asleep, shush.
I've got to remember how to spell it. Digitation. There we go.
Yeah, that works.
Double check the spell to make sure we get it exactly correct. A clean or swallow, warm up fire, create non-magical trinket, small mark or symbol. Harmless sensory effect, such as shower of sparks, puff of wind, faint musical notes, or an odd odor. You can't make any loud sounds.
No, the odor will do.
Clean or no bit flavor, color, non-magical. Yeah, so you can. It's a harmless sensory effect. So I could say you could put it right next to his ear, and like an odor or even a puff of wind. Musical notes.
Probably a puff of wind probably be better.
Puff of wind. Okay. How are we going to do this?
Probably go across his face.
Go across his face. Gillian, roll a perception check for me.
15.
Oh yeah, you feel that. you feel a wind across your face, like it's not strong, but it's strong enough to rouse you from your sleep. And you turn over. Well, you wake up. You open your eyes, sort of flicker open, wondering what's that? Where did that come from? And the moment you open your eyes, you are met face to face with another mimic. It's right in front of you. Its jaws are open. The tongue's starting to slide out towards you. Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
No, wisdom. That's a 20. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Cool.
Yep.
For a moment, you sit bolt upright and you freak out. But then you think, hang on a minute. We killed one of those. We killed that, and something's not right about it. You're a little bit wary, but you're not sure what it is. It looks real enough, but it's not making any sound.
I'm gonna kick it.
You're gonna kick
Kick it, like crawling back towards the wall.
Oh, so you're gonna sort of back away and kick at it?
Yeah.
Okay, as you back away and start kicking at it, your feet go right through it, and it sort of shimmers and becomes quite a little bit more opaque, and as your feet pass through it.
I'm just going to yell, "What in the hell is this?"
I'm over there pissing myself laughing.
So you look out. The moment you say that, you hear the roaring of laughter coming from both Het and Alessandros, just sitting there just about wetting themselves.
I told you it'd be a good idea.
Would I make a
Are there
perception
rocks
check
nearby?
to see if I hear this?
Yes, you can make both Namaris and Aslan can make a perception check.
Are there rocks on the ground nearby?
There would be. There's debris all over the place. 15. Yeah, you'd hear it.
10.
Just hang on, Gillian. The 10. Namaris, you probably heard it, but it hasn't really disturbed you. But Aslan, you definitely heard it, and it woke you.
I'll wake
And
up
the
see.
laughter.
It's
Actually,
going-
no, Namaris, the laughter probably stirred you as well. The event probably didn't wake you, but the laughter would have.
I just open one eye and look over at the boys and go, oh, and Alessandra, and I'm like, oh, and roll over.
Not quite the effect I was hoping for, but hey, still.
Yes, he rolled high, dude. Like, seriously, a 15 and a dirty 20. Wow. I was hoping he'd roll low.
That's with a
So was I.
that's with a +1 for my wisdom.
Oh, wow.
That's a 19. I rolled a 19.
Damn.
Hit taps Ellie on the shoulder, says, "Never mind, Ellie. Maybe next time." He saw through this one.
And I'm going to pick up a rock and throw it at Alessandra's head.
Roll to hit.
Do I have
Is it
a
just 20?
Just a d20. Roll. Just roll to attack. Looks like you normally would.
2.
2. You pick up at a rock and you fire it, and it goes wide. And just straight again. Like, didn't even look like it was going to hit. And it just across the room.
See, I told you I'd scale him senseless.
I believe that I would wake up to hearing the yell of "What the hell
Yes,
is
you
that?"
would. Yep.
And I think I would.
See the illusion of the mimic.
Yes, because you've not seen it before. You
No.
would never have seen a mimic before, so you'd have no idea what it was.
So I would probably wake up with the hand axe ready to see it and launch it.
Yeah,
Out the mimic.
roll to attack.
hang on. Isn't that the Gillian?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Can I at this
And
point
my
kind of open
panther.
my eyes and just watch what's going on?
You wouldn't have been awake at that point. It would have been after.
Right.
Before he
That's
launches
a 6.
like,
6. You launch
Like-
the hand axe and just in the general direction of of the actually roll a d6 as well, just quickly. You just wake up, you're sort of in half asleep, you see this thing more wide open, big tongue hanging out, and you sort of whoa, and you just grab your hand and instinctively throw it.
That's a 5.
And yeah, you barely miss Gillian's head. Like, it literally between the mimic and his head, bang, hits the wall and embeds itself in the wall. It was a hefty throw. And Gillian, you completely freak out at that as well. I mean, that was so close to your face. It was not funny. I mean, it could have almost shaved you. I mean, it was that close.
I'm crawling under the panther.
And it's about
Sorry, team.
yeah,
Everyone back to sleep.
it's about that time, Namaris, that you would wake and with the laughter and everything going on and sort of wake up and do your
I
whole
still shake my
thing.
Yeah.
So yes, do you retrieve your axe or are you quite happy to leave it there for the time being?
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there for the night.
Leave it there.
Go back to sleep now.
So,
God.
Gillian, it takes you a little while to get back to sleep. You're not only a little nervous, but you're also a little pissed at Alessandros again and Het, because this is the second time that someone's played a prank on you now. So you're a little upset, but you're not too much, and you do find sleep. It's a little restless, but you do get there. Namaris, you go back to sleep without any hassles. Aslan, as with you. After a while, that spell does dissipate, and the mimic does disappear. So again, Het and Alessandros, unless you want to talk about anything else, I'll get you to roll a perception check for your watch.
Alrighty. Hit rolled 7.
7. Awesome rolls from Het tonight.
So far, so bad.
And
I got
Alessandro, 13. Collective 20. you guys hear a few noises throughout your watch. That passageway that you believe that you found, or that area, you notice a bit of sound coming from down there. It doesn't seem close, but there's definitely noises coming from that secret doorway that you found. Nothing tries to get through the door. You don't hear anything in that sort of general direction, but you do hear a few noises throughout your watch. That just you know there's possibly still maybe some kobolds left in the keep, and other things you're not sure. You obviously haven't explored the entire lower level as yet. You know there's at least one more door that you haven't opened, but your watch goes reasonably unhindered. And who was taking second watch? That was
just before
Yes.
we wake them up. The reason why he was a bit not noticing things, he right at the end of his watch before he wakes anyone up, he pulls out a diary and makes a note in a little notebook and says, in the note he says, "Dad, casted Sacred Flame a few times now, one of your favorites I know, and Shield, trying to follow in your footsteps, but not really enjoying it as much as I thought. Let you know how next battle goes." And he sort of signs off, thinks about it, and then wakes up the others for their watch.
No problem.
I'll take second watch if you like.
Well, Gillian has offered to take it as well, so do you want to take it with him?
I was kind of hoping that Aslan and wanted to take it as well. I think we should leave Gillian sleep after that, or that.
That's up to you guys. I mean, who do you wake up?
I'd like to.
Well,
once they wake
you're
me up,
asleep,
I'll
so
go-
you're asleep, so you
Yeah.
can't say anything. So shush.
Well, Hit would have
This
woken
is-
Gillian because he told him to wake
This
him
is
up.
Alice Anderson and Hit's thing. So,
Well,
so
Het can go wake Gillian up.
Hit
I'll
Hit
go-
does.
so
Jump
Hit
on,
wakes
get a-
Gillian.
I'm underneath the panther, like underneath it, like it's laying on top of me.
Hit just grabs his ankle and pulls him out.
And with your strength, you got no hassles doing that. I mean, Gillian's literally half your size, so you got no problems dragging him out from underneath the panther.
Say, "Hey, just wake up, Gillian. It's your watch, buddy. No, bite your chest this time."
I cautiously go over to Namaris, wake her up.
So you decide to wake Namaris up?
Yep,
Okay.
from a distance, hopefully.
you don't have any problems. You give her a little sort of nudge with your foot, and she wakes. Gillian, you're sort of dragged awake from underneath the
And
panther.
I'm going to wake my panther up.
No worries. So your panther's going to be on watch as well.
It's
No problem. So Het and Alessandros, you find your respective areas to curl up and grab some sleep.
Yep.
And Neymaris and Gillian, you are now awake and on watch.
I look at Gillian and I say, "Hey, Gillian, would you like some
You're
revenge?"
cutting off all the time.
I'm keeping my finger on it.
revenge.
Yeah, would you like some revenge? Because that didn't look like it was very much fun.
I mean, I have some ideas.
I pick out the biggest rock I can find.
For you, that's a pretty. I mean, you can carry some pretty big rocks. You got to be a bit more specific.
Well, one that's not gonna injure anybody too badly
Okay.
if it rolls. And I'm gonna go over to Het and just kind of feather out his cloak a little bit and then park it on top of.
I see what you mean. Okay. So first, roll a stealth check. Actually, no. First, you roll a strength check because you're gonna. I know what you're trying to do. So you have to pick up something that's fairly heavy to be able to stop him from moving. Because I'm assuming that's what you're trying to do. Just
Yeah.
put it on his cloak to stop him from moving anywhere. So
That'd
firstly, a
be-
strength check.
That'd be that'd be 23.
23. Well, you pass the strength check without too many hassles. Now stealth check to see if you can get over there without waking him with this large boulder that you are
I
carrying.
rolled a 12.
A 12. And what's your modifier?
No, I rolled an 11 plus a 1, that's 12.
12. What's Hit's passive? 11. Ooh. I'd say you get over there and you put it down and you make a bit of noise putting it down. You stir a little bit, but I don't think you wake. You stir and sort of you might think it's a bit of a dream. You just hear a bit of a noise. You're not really too concerned. You sort of go back to sleep. So, Neymaris, you have successfully planted a sizable boulder on Het's cloak.
And I think I'm quite clever for thinking of that.
Anything else you guys would like to do during your watch?
I'm going to tell my panther to go pee on Alexandra's
On her face.
Yep.
At that point, I kind of look at Gillian and go, "No, I don't think that's very nice." There's not being able to move, and then there's just no.
Well, see, this is the thing. If Alexandra's wakes up freaked out, then Het's gonna wake up and try to like move, and it's just be like,
Well,
like a dog on a chain.
All right then. I'm just gonna go and park my bum a little bit further away.
1 second. Oh wow. So
Fuck adventuring. Let's just have fun all night.
I know, right? It's like, okay, let's not kill anything. Let's just play pranks on each other all
It's the
night.
greatest.
So you command your companion to go out, make a stealth check for your companion.
Oh boy, here we go. I think it's a +8. Yeah. 19.
19. Yeah, the cat is stealthy as. I mean, they're natural predators, so it very stealthily wanders over and literally cocks his leg on Alexandra's face and takes a piss.
Yes.
Alexandros, you instantly wake,
feeling
feeling the splashing of warm, or probably more hot, more than just warm. It's a real. I mean, something is really warm and splashing against your face, and you wake instantly, and you sort of open your eyes and you get a bit of a mouthful. It's in your eyes, and yeah, you just start spluttering and coughing. It's like you got no idea what the fuck's going on. And then you hear it. Then you hear that giggle from young Gillian sitting around the campfire.
I refrain from doing anything.
So the cat finishes. You let him finish. Cat finishes and sort of turns. As he turns and goes to walk away, he's like, you know how sometimes dogs do, they sort of scrape their back feet, just sort of does that twice at you in your direction and sort of smugly walks back to Gillian and curls up next to him.
Did Het hear this?
Roll a perception check.
Het, I think he might have slept right through it.
What did you roll?
Just a 12.
It's 12. I'd say you probably heard the laughter, because it wasn't quiet. He wasn't trying to not laugh. It would have been a pretty hearty laugh. So I'd say you probably would have heard it, and it probably would have roused you somewhat. I mean, probably not to fully awake, but enough where
Het would open one eye and then just close it again.
Yeah. You probably didn't notice what was going on. Yeah, I'm probably sure you probably didn't see what was going on, but you definitely heard the laughter and you acknowledged that you heard that. So, Gillian and Neymaris, roll perception checks for your watch. Oh, you guys cracked
do I roll one for my panther?
How I'm wet
yes,
and
for your
awake.
panther as well. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you might as well because you're wet. I mean, you could probably go back to sleep, but you're still wet. And you're probably going to get a bit of a cold face.
Wet, stinky.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, a 9 for me, a 24
Trashy,
for my panther.
just as a point of order, prestidigitation is perfect for what's happened to you.
Yep, that's why I did it. I was like, yeah, it makes sense.
So, what was your rolls?
It was a 9 for me and a 24 for my panther.
Okay, so you guys probably didn't hear a whole lot. Your panther, however, every now and again, you sort of
I
throughout
got
your
a 20,
watch.
by the way.
You got a 20? Yeah, so you would have heard it too. You probably would have been closer to it than the panther. But every now and again, the panther would get up and go for a walk around near where the secret entrance that you found was, and kind of has a sniff and a bit of a growl, and comes back. And Trashy, you heard the same noise. It was almost like a scraping noise, but it didn't sound like it was at the door, but it sounded further down the corridor. But it was audible enough that you heard it. But apart from that, your watch goes pretty much unhindered as well.
Just before it's time for them to wake up, I'm going to grab my water skin and go and dump a little bit on poor old Alexandra.
So you're just going to walk over and dump it on her face?
Yep.
And Alessandra, as you're wide awake, you now have Namaris just walking over to you. She grabs her water skin and she just dumps a whole bunch of water on your face.
Wait, thanks.
You're welcome. I didn't think you'd want to stink your cat's pee all day.
Nah, not particularly.
What's wrong with urea?
What's wrong with my ears, dear?
Nice. So, as you wake, your 8 hours is pretty much gone. Alessandra, you suffer one level of exhaustion because you didn't get your full rest because of being woken up.
Awesome.
So just make note of that.
Can I give her a mushroom as well?
It's not going to make any difference.
What exactly does exhaustion do?
One level of exhaustion, what that does...
I've never dealt with it, so...
Yeah, so what it does... 1 second, I'll read it to you.
First level is disadvantage on, I believe it's saving throws and checks.
I think so, I think you're right. If you go to your conditions, Gillian, on your page...
Ah.
And if you click on exhaustion, it'll tell you. It tells you that level 1, disadvantage on ability checks.
Ah, okay.
Level
This
2,
is cool.
your speed is halved. Level 3, disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. Level 4, your hit point maximum is halved. Level 5, your speed is reduced to 0. And level 6, you die. And the only way to get rid of it is to take a long rest.
That's crazy. Okay.
So yeah,
And
so
they stack.
and they stack, yeah. So if you
So,
got
like,
if you got up to
have
level
2, you have
5,
1 and 2.
yeah, if you got
Correct.
up to level 5, you got everything up to level 5, and it will take you 5 days rest to recover.
Wow. It's crazy.
So yeah, it's pretty nuts.
It's kind of cool.
I mean, it's a cool thing too, but it's pretty crazy. So you now wake. It'll be early morning. You
Ellie, you don't look so rested.
and yeah, you look pretty tired. Like you've sat up, obviously been woken halfway through your rest, so you're pretty pooped.
Yeah. And how did my rock?
Oh yes.
Oh yes. So, Het, as you wake, you sort of sit up. Fine. Yeah, it's fine. You go to stand up, and you go to walk away, and pretty much. Actually, firstly, make
What's going on?
a strength check first, because you're pretty strong as well. So.
Not really.
So okay, it is.
Not 9.
9. Yeah, no, you get stopped short.
I stroll forward and what's going on here?
I giggle under my breath and kind of go over and go, would you like me to move that for you?
Yes, please, that would be lovely. Who would put a rock on a man's cape?
I got a natural 20 just in case.
That's what you do. Yeah, you just pick it up and throw it to one side, sort of as it hits and sort of rolls a little bit.
He taps her on the shoulder and gives her a big toothy grin and says, "Now you're getting it."
Now we're getting a little bit of rapport with the party. This is awesome.
I just wink. So I think I get it now.
Oh, this is the best. This has been the best ever. This is awesome. Right, so you guys are awake. If you're going to eat, mark off rations. Obviously, full spells back again, full HP for those that lost any.
Can I
spell
just
slots
cut
back.
off a piece of meat from the dragon to eat for breakfast?
You can if you want to make a Constitution saving throw. You don't know what raw
I'm
dragon.
talking about
You have no
cooking.
idea what raw meat's going to do to you.
No, I meant
Are
like
you so
cut it
good?
off and cook it.
You can, but it'll take you some time.
Oh, well, maybe not then.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I
Never
mean, you've
tried
got
raw
time.
dragon steak.
You try it raw. You have no idea what it might do, but
Nah, I'm good.
Hitch
Maybe-
is going to
I
eat
mean-
his cured orc meat.
you can eat your cured orc meat.
Watermelons,
Roll a
mushroom.
roll a con save for your orc meat.
13.
Yeah, you're fine. Tastes pretty good too.
Orc is good.
I wish to try some raw dragon.
You want to try some
Head
raw,
likes it
raw dragon? Okay, con save for you as well, sir.
18.
18. That's almost better than cooked dragon steak. That is some tender, tasty meat. Better than any salted or dried meat or jerky you've ever had. It is some pretty good meat.
I grab
Seeing
hold of.
Aslan do that, I'm gonna be a cocky little kid, and I'm gonna do the same thing.
Con save for you as well. I hope you
I
roll
just want
bad.
to look over at Het and just sort of give
It
him a bit
is
of
a 11.
Not bad.
11.
Yeah.
It tastes okay. Like you've never tried raw meat before, even with all your time in the forest. You've always cooked your meat. It's what you were taught to always cook your meat or dry it. So the taste isn't the greatest. You keep it down, but it's kind of one of those things. You look at Aslan as you swallow. It's that big sort of gulping swallow, trying not to let him on that you don't really like it.
As these guys
It's
are
good.
doing that, I'm going to look at Het and just kind of go over to him and say, "Can I just borrow your arm for a second there, my friend?"
Sure, borrow my arm. I hold my arm out.
So I kind of pick it up in both arms and try and take a bite out.
Trying to take a bite out of his arm.
Oh god.
Okay. Fuck, how the hell are we going to
Joking,
do
by
this?
the way.
Oh my god.
It's not meant
Is
to
that-
hurt. This is just like looking at these guys because they're pretending to eat dragon, and I don't like the thought of that. So I thought I'd try a dragon board.
Oh my god. Oh wow. So yes.
Does Hitch get the joke?
So now
I hope so.
it's up to you, man. It's completely up to you. She goes to bite your arm and then goes, just kidding.
Hitch just screams out in pretend pain to see what the other guy's reaction will be. Like a big dragon roar, like.
I try and I'm just trying to stop myself from laughing.
How do you
He
guys
drops to the
react?
ground like a
Perception
wrestler. And
check to see if I know that this is fake or not.
Insight check. So yeah, roll an insight.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Everyone who wants to roll an insight check to see if you realise that they're both
A
pulling your
15.
leg. 15? Yeah, you
Yeah.
you pick up on the fact that it's probably not hurt at all.
8.
You're not sure. You look at it and you think, what did she just do? how did she hurt someone? How did she hurt him like that? You're not sure whether it's real or not. And Ellie, you gonna
So-
insight check as well?
Yeah, 20.
20? Yeah, you know straight away. You picked up on it, and you know
By the way,
you know it's a joke.
I just
I'm
turn
gonna rest
around
my
and look
hand
at.
on my glaive and just move slowly towards Nemaris.
I turn around and look at Aslan and go, "That is quite tasty." And I put it on his breath.
Oh shit!
I'm staying away from Alessandris just because I know she probably smells of cat piss.
And then I put out my hand to give Het a hand up off the floor.
And
And
Hitch
take
gets
a
up
bow.
off the floor.
I
Well.
still cautiously look at Het.
And I'm gonna start the slow clap.
Hit looks to Aslan and says, I won't try any mad cow disease and all.
Oh, shit. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I'd burst out laughing.
Yeah. And laughter ensues. And with all the noise that you guys are making right now,
Oh, crap.
you hear a distant door like creak open. It was pretty loud. And you hear a couple of like small footsteps. Nothing huge, but it's definitely more than one creature, and it sounds like it's coming in your direction.
Glaive is out.
Axe is out.
So you're all
at the ready.
You're all at the ready.
Rock out.
Towards the direction of the sound.
From the door you guys came in originally. That's where you hear the noise coming from, in that general direction.
I find a dark shadow.
One dark shadow, not a problem.
I moved to position myself.
You wanting to hide or stealth,
direct
or just
open
in the shadow?
Of the door.
Yeah, I'll go stealth.
Okay, so roll. Everyone who wants to stealth in the dim light, because it is daytime, so there is daylight coming through, but there are plenty of shadows and dim light that you could probably hide in if you so wished. So,
I'm going to.
Ellie,
point
what was
my
your
panther to,
stealth?
hide.
19.
19, sweet. Anyone else?
My cat just got a nat 20.
Nat 20, sweet, no worries.
I'm like,
I'm
no,
legit
just...
gonna stand like 10 feet away from the direct in front of the door.
Okay,
And I'm gonna be right there next to him.
not a problem.
And Hit will be, as always, at the rear, facing the door, ready
Okay,
to support his
so
team.
you guys not wanting to hide at all?
And I'm
Nope.
standing on top of the dragon with
Nope.
my bow.
Okie dokie. So, as you position yourselves ready for a possible impending combat, you now hear the door thumping at the door, and the door's sort of moving. It's not moving much, but it's moving enough that it's starting to jiggle the makeshift barrier. You're pretty sure that within a few minutes, whatever's on the other side is going to make it through that door. Let's roll strength check for these guys. Yeah, they don't take long. Within a few minutes, the door pushes open enough for two kobolds just to come pushing through the door, and they instantly, obviously, they see Aslan, they see Het, they see Gillian, they see Neymaris.
Do we recognize these kobolds at all?
Roll a perception check.
That would be 14.
14? No, they don't look familiar. They just look like any other kobold. And at this point, I'd get everyone to roll initiative.
Natural 20. So 23.
Give me 1 second. Put our friendly kobolds in.
Damn kobolds.
40.
Right, so Gillian, you got 20?
23.
23. Aslan,
14.
Alessandros,
14.
Het.
6.
Wow. And Neymaris,
8.
8.
Oh, sorry, 9. But 8, 9, you know, what's one?
Oh, one can make all the difference. All right, so top of the attack order is Gillian. Roll for your cat as well, dude.
My cat acts on my initiative.
Oh, he does too. Yep.
Yep.
Sweet. No worries.
I don't have a name for my cat at this point in time. Just
It's
for,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine.
I'm going to just tell it as soon as they like I'm just going to yell at it and tell it to attack the first one that came in.
Okay. Yeah, so they're within probably 40, well, depending on how close you guys were to the door.
Because
definitely within
my
range.
cat would have went to the west pillar.
Yep.
That's closest to the door.
Yeah, that's fine. So, which
I don't know
just
how
going to
far that
attack
is.
the first one that's coming to the room?
Yeah.
You can bring up your cat stats.
It gets a claw attack because it's moving 20 feet. It gets a pounce.
Yep. So roll for your attack. So it moves, yeah. So if the panther moves at least 20 feet and straight towards a creature, then it hits with a claw attack, and on the same term must exceed a DC 12 strength. Okay, so roll for your claw attack, and I'll roll for the strength check. Fails a strength check.
It's a 7 to hit, 7 to hit.
7 to hit. It misses, but with the pounce, the attack hisses. It goes to rake the claw across, and just misses ever so slightly. But as the cat comes down, it pounces down onto the target, and that kobold is now prone.
And then if the target is prone, the panther can make one bite attack against it as a bonus action.
Certainly can. So roll for your bonus action.
That is a 19.
That will hit.
Which is 1d6. 6.
And as your cat, this big, like you guys watch, there's a big albino panther just charges 20 feet towards the kobold and pounces, and as so goes for that first swipe as it's coming down and misses and lands on top of the kobold, then just reaches down and just rips out its throat with its second attack, and the kobold just gurgles and just dies right there on the spot. And is that you've still got your
I just have my bonus action.
bonus action, I believe, yeah.
Yep. And I'm just going to be standing there, like, ready.
No problem.
I guess I don't have anything to ready, so.
No problem. So the other kobold is next, and I'm going to roll a wisdom saving throw just quickly. Fails wisdom saving throw. The second kobold freaks out, screams, "Yeah!" and goes to turn and run because it just saw his mate get his whole throat just ripped out by this giant panther. Compared to him, I mean, kobolds aren't exactly big, and he turns to flee, and he takes basically turns and goes back through the door. So he's now in the hallway. You can still see him. The door's open enough that you guys that are in line of the door will still have line of sight on him, but he's taken off back towards down the hallway.
Does the cat get an attack of opportunity?
Would I get
It wasn't within melee of that second kobold. It was only in combat with the first. And what was that, Aslan?
Would I get an opportunity attack with the range of my weapon?
No, you have to be within melee range to get an opportunity attack.
Cool.
So next on Aslan, you're next in the initiative order anyway. So
I'm gonna chase it down.
and chase it down.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna move straight. Attack
you
range.
move. What your movement is 30 feet.
Yeah.
Standard, I believe. So you if you move. Yeah, I'd say you wouldn't catch up to it completely. You'd probably get within 10 feet of it if you were to like take off running. You got a lot longer legs than it's got, but it was already a few, probably 10 or 15 feet, 20 feet away from you anyway. So by the time you sort of get through, you're probably 10 feet away from it now. So you're well within a ranged attack. Unless you wanted to dash and use your
glaive
action.
Has reach.
Your glaive has reach.
So that's
10
10 foot
feet?
attack range.
Well, then you can make your attack, sir.
Then I'm gonna go for an attack.
Attack!
Attack.
Murder hobo this thing.
Hey, well, technically they were coming in to see what the ruckus was anyway, and they would have attacked you. So
Remind me
This
how I
is
do
true.
my attack rolls again. D20.
D20 plus your weapon damage. And
For the hit.
I'll bring you up. Mr. Aslan.
I fucked up, by the way.
Doesn't matter. So D20 plus 5 to hit.
That would be an 18.
18, that definitely hits. And then 1d10 plus 3 will be your damage.
Nice one.
I feel a smooshing in your future.
8 damage.
8 damage. Yeah, no problem at all. How do you actually swing your glaive to kill this kobold?
It's a cleave going
It's a cleave?
for the neck.
Going for the neck? Yeah, you charge down there and you just a big long wide arc with your glaive and literally catches him across the back of the neck and decapitates him. And his body takes another 2-3 steps forward before it just slops to the ground and just oozes goo all over the floor. And you don't hear any more footsteps. You don't hear any more voices. So you think you may be okay for now as far as alerting anyone else. Initiative order over. Combat done.
I turn back to the group and just give a thumbs.
I look at him and go, "Oh man, I was hoping that we could kind of pick it up, shake it a little bit, and see what the hell was going on in there."
Are you remnants of the bloody mine here?
I give Aslan an okay, like, pointer finger to the thumb, through fingers up. Like,
Yeah. Okay. We're all good. So what are you guys going to do?
So where's Gillian positioned right now?
He's
I'm
on the
standing
dragon.
on top of the dragon.
It's basically the center of the room.
All right, no, I'm staying where I am then.
So what are you guys up to? What are you going to do?
Well, we've finished our quest, I believe, so should we not be looking at heading back and delivering it before we run out of time?
Yeah, the time was to complete the contract, which you've done. So your contract is now completed.
Oh, excellent.
So you can actually take your time. Well, not too much time, but you can take your time going back to Valand. Your 3-week time limit was to complete the contract to the point where dispatching the dragon and collecting the bits. The moment you collected the bits and put them in the bag, your contract was complete.
So we can search this place around then, Aslan. What do you think?
I like searching through things. What
I'm
about
just
that
gonna
door
whistle.
over there?
I'm
Not
going to
open
call
that
my
door
panther
yet.
back.
No problem. Panther returns. So, if you remember rightly from previously, the door leading into the main chamber was led to a long singular corridor, which would have gone back up to essentially a T-junction, left and right. You guys came from the right, which is where your secret room was with the mimic and the cells. There was also a door at the end of the corridor to your left. If you are indeed going that way, you will notice is now open.
What about the secret door?
You want to investigate it?
I would like to investigate the secret door.
Okay. Roll an investigation check on the secret door.
List, if you like.
That would be an 18.
An 18. You guys found it in your initial investigation. Now you're having a good look at it. It's stone, but if you notice, if you give it a bit of a push, it does move. You're not sure if it's going to move completely in and fall in, or whether it pushes forward and maybe goes to the side. But there's definitely something there, and you can feel a breeze coming from it as well.
Would you guys like me to have a go at that with my shoulder?
Or even your head.
Your shoulder.
With your investigation check, you can tell that it's not going to take much to move this stone. It's not overly heavy. In fact, it feels a lot lighter than what it should feel. It's quite a big. It's like sort of 4 feet by 4 feet square. So it should feel really heavy, but it's not. It's a lot lighter to sort of
Can
move.
I try and open it?
Well, Aslan's already there.
Oh, you're there. All right.
I'll just give it a push.
Give it a push.
Just a general see if the door opens kind of push.
You give it a push and it moves 3-4 inches, just a gentle push.
Oh. That's pretty good. I'll just put my weight into it.
Put your weight into it, and you give it another good sort of shove, and it pushes forward another foot, and then stops. And you give it a bit more of a, just to give it a bit of a gentle shove, and it sort of almost like it feels like almost like it's spring loaded as it pushes in, and then you hear it catch, and it's like cha-chunk, and then it just starts slowly sliding to the left, and reveals a dark corridor. Around the edges of just the sort of the inside edge of the opening, it feels like it's quite sticky, and you can't really see anything any further than that. Sort of 2 or 3 feet in, it's quite dark. I mean, the whole tunnel's pitch black from then on.
I think. Is there a sconce nearby?
There is, to your left, about 5-10 feet. There is a wall sconce. Or
would I
torch.
be able to remove it from the wall?
Yeah, you should be able to. It's a regular torch just been put into a wall mount, so you should be able to grab that.
Ah, nice. Let's grab a torch and have a good look around this corridor.
No worries. So, did you go into the corridor or just put the torch in and have a look?
First off, I'll put the torch in. It should help with my low light vision to see a little bit
That's right.
further
You've
than
got
you.
dark vision too. So, so with the dim light, as you put the torch in, with the extra light that this does give you, you can see a full 30 feet into this tunnel. It's big enough to stand in. You'd have to sort of crawl through the opening, but then it sort of you can see that it drops away, and it's probably big enough for most people to stand in. Het would probably. How tall are you, Het?
Just over 6 foot.
Yeah, you'd probably have to sort of bend down a little bit, but the rest of you should be okay. The whole corridor, top to bottom, the walls, it looks to you as it's thick with webbing of some kind. Like, it's really kind of shimmering. Some parts are quite dusty, like it hasn't been used for a while, but you can see that it's thick with web.
Would I know what this is?
Based on what you've been told, I mean, you possibly could. You can roll an intelligence check. See if you understand what it is.
It will also light up the end of his loot.
13.
What was your roll?
13.
13?
13.
You've not encountered the substance before, but you've heard people talk about it, and that it's possibly the silk from a large spider, but you're not 100% sure. And you've lit up your loot as well. Yeah.
Just lightly in the quietness playing on my loot.
Okay.
Just a shot in the dark.
And with the aid of the extra light from Het's loot at the entranceway, you have another look, and you can see it's definitely webbing of some description. Doesn't look the same as regular spider's web. It's a lot thicker, and to touch it, if you touch it, it's really quite sticky. A lot more sticky than you'd sort of expect.
Without saying a word, I turn and go over to the wall where my hand axe is lodged to remove it.
No problem. Make a strength check to remove it from the wall. Because you buried it in there pretty hard. It was a pretty solid throw. 15, yeah, that takes a couple of minutes, but you managed to sort of give it a bit of a lever out. It was a pretty good throw.
Nice. Once I've got that, I return to the corridor.
Right, so what are we doing, guys?
Anybody
While
got
he
any
walked
problems with
away,
this?
I'm going to step in while he walked away and wait for him to return.
You're going to step
Yeah,
into the
Gillian can
corridor?
go first.
Yes.
Gillian can go first. I don't mind.
I always go first. And,
So as you step in, you sort of crawl up through the hole. I mean, you being probably the smallest of the group, you don't find any problems getting through the
I'm
the
5'11".
hole. You're still the shortest out of the whole group.
holy fuck.
So you
Even Alexandris?
yeah. Oh, shit, what are you, 5? No, I think you're about the same height. 5'10", 5'11". Much the same.
Okay.
But you get in there, you fit okay. I mean, you stand up and your feet fine purchase. It's not slippery, but it's like walking on sort of
A glue trap.
kind of glue. Yeah, it feels gluey under feet, and like you lift your foot up and it sort of goes and sort of takes a bit to release it. And same with and it feels really soft to walk on, almost like you're walking on, almost like a trampoline. Like if you've ever walked across a trampoline, it's that same sort of bouncy kind of feeling. It's solid enough to walk on, but it's not 100% stable. It's kind of weird. But you stand up, I find. I mean, the lights there, you see, it's the corridor moves forward about 10 or so feet and then starts 20 or so feet and then starts to curve to the right.
Is the whole wall, floor, and ceiling covered in this?
Everything is covered.
I would like to try and set it on fire.
Try and set it on fire?
My mind.
You got to set it on fire with Gillian.
I'm staying well out.
I dare you.
Because at the moment, Gillian is standing sort of inside the opening, and like if he stood sort of side on, like he'd be right there. So, what are you gonna do?
Me?
I could try and pull him back.
Would you like me to grab him? While
I was waiting for. I was turned towards them, waiting for Aslan.
Yeah. So he's telling he's going to try and set it on fire. What do you do?
I'm gonna crawl back out, I suppose.
All right.
I don't want to be burned.
You crawl. You sort of unstick yourself. 'Cause it takes you a little bit to get your feet. Once you crawl back through, to sort of pull your feet off the ground, and as you do that, you hear a noise from up the corridor, and it's a loud hissing sound, and it's like you hear that it's a real sort of low hiss, and then almost like you hear almost like someone with heavy boots on, but lots of them moving.
Does the sound
in the
close?
distance. No, it's still off in the distance. It's not coming any closer, but you can definitely hear it a lot clearer down this
I
corridor.
very definitely start trying to set the weapon on fire.
So what are you trying to set it on fire with? The torch?
Yes.
So you drop the torch in? Do you just put it up against
I've
the
sort of
webbing? Or
hold it against the wall.
hold it
of
against the wall?
corridor.
Okay. You hold it against the wall, and it makes that sizzling sound, like when you put fire against something cold and wet. And it sizzles, but it doesn't seem to take it. It's almost like it's melting a little bit, but it doesn't catch. And again, you hear that same low hiss and the movement. Again, it's not getting any closer, but it seems almost agitated in the way it moves.
Guys, I think we should try more fire. I don't think we have enough fire.
I can give you a hand
kill
with
it
that.
with fire.
Gillian gets it.
We've got a
Kill it-
tinder
kill it with
box.
fire.
Who's doing
Well,
what?
I'll give.
I'm going to pull out 3 sticks from my bag and set them on the ground. Aslan, burn them.
I told the
Like
torch.
starting a fire. Like start a little fire right on the steps.
Would Hit know if casting Sacred Flame into the web would do anything?
Make an intelligence check. What's the damage Sacred Flame? Is it fire damage?
The damage of it is flame. Blah, 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 blah. It's
Radiant, I
radiant.
thought.
Radiant damage? Make an intelligence check anyway, but I would say probably not.
6.
Yeah, you're not 100%. You're not sure. You're looking at it
I'm
thinking,
going to smash this
"Ooh."
dice.
You look at it and think, well, maybe Sacred Flame could do something to it. Then, yeah, probably not. you're not sure. You're not. It's not worth taking the risk. You just don't want to waste a spell slot in case it doesn't do anything.
Sweet. Sacred Flame won't work, guys. It's radiant damage.
Do you want to grab another torch? Give me a hand.
I've got a couple spare if you'd like.
I've got a candle. Actually,
I'll
I
give
have
Hit
7.
a torch.
I'm going to light 2 torches with
Okay.
his torches.
Yeah.
With his
Okay.
torch.
So
Yeah,
now you got
that's
4
fine.
torches because Namaris has got a torch
Thank
as
you.
well. So you have 4.
Let's try and concentrate
You
this
have
fire.
four
Thank you,
torches now?
Neymaris. Appreciate it.
Or
Okay.
5 torches. So everyone has a torch.
Correct.
I had 2.
Okay, so you got 2. So it gives you 5 anyway. If Alishanis, do you have a torch or no?
Okay.
Or are you still standing back?
I'm still standing back.
Okay, so we have 5. You have 5 torches between the 4 of you. And what are you going to again try and hold it against the wall?
I
it
think we
should
should
be
do it all in
beautiful
the same
to
place.
exercise.
You'll be a Chantress.
So you guys put your torches all together, crossing the streams as if you will.
Would we have to climb through the hole to do this?
You could probably reach. All 4 of you could probably reach through. If you're going sort of to one side, if you're going, it would be a little bit of a awkward thing. But you'd probably be able to do it from the outside.
Are there any bits of this webbing kind of hanging off the ceiling?
It's covering everything, walls, ceiling. They're not
I
really
think we
hanging.
should
They're sort of it's. Just to give you an idea, picture a funnel web spider's like a tunnel web spider's tunnel into its home. It's just coated.
Right. So I'm just gonna say to the guys, look, see that little bit that's kind of away from the wall a little bit? Shall we try for that bit? Because it's not in a big clump. Might just take
Okay.
and then go. I don't know. I'll just.
Let's give it a go.
Right, so you give it a go. And again, you get that same sound, a lot louder this time, a lot more fire. That just really loud hissing sound from when the flame hits the web, and it sizzles, and almost like burning plastic. It gives off a bit of smoke, but it just won't catch.
At this point, Hit thinks, what would my father do? And he turns to the group and says, that's it, I'm going in. And he climbs on in.
I'm like, hang on, I'll come with you, just in case.
And again, you hear that sound, that low, long hiss, and the almost that sort of sound on the wall. It sounds like it's coming from everywhere. It sounds like it's on the wall. It sounds like it's coming from the ceiling. Old Trans Gamer, what's up?
WWHDD. What would Head's dad do?
Hashtag. But yeah, so
Upon seeing this, I would like to drop the torch,
Yep.
ready my glaive like a spear for only thrusting attacks, and try and make my way in front of Het.
okay.
As much as a struggle as that may be.
You could
So
all
that's two
like
of
say
us trying to do
if
it.
you're moving through, like if you move through one at a time, you'll all be able to make it through the hole easily enough. It's big enough for you all to get through. The corridor or the tunnel that you see is about 10 or 15 feet wide, so it's not very wide. Barely sort of wide enough for 2 of you to stand side by side. So you'd probably be more likely to go in single file to make it a little bit easier. And it's about 15 feet tall once you get into the sort of the part of it there. So it's big enough for everyone to stand up. So
I
you're
look
fine.
at Aslan, and because we look like we're doing the same thing, and I'm like, well, after you, we'll come. Oh, back.
So what's the order going into the tunnel?
Hit went through first, so unfortunately, Hit is first.
Hit in first, then Ellie, was it Neymaris, and then Aslan?
But I think we're trying to get him out the way so that he's not going to get hurt. So we're going to.
You could probably squeeze past him if you asked nicely.
Both trying to get in front of it.
Yeah.
Yes, we're
Hit
both
would,
trying to get
Hit
in
would
front.
see that and let you get through anyway.
Okay, so Neymaris in front,
You just-
then Aslan.
I was going to let Aslan because he kind of
Okay,
thought of it first. I thought
Aslan,
I'd let him go.
Neymaris, and then Hit.
Correct.
On my way
Uh,
past, I will.
I just
sort
rolled
of
a
pat
10 to
him on
look
the
for
shoulder.
Alessandra's, like perception. Do I see Alessandra's
No, you
anywhere?
You do not see her at all. So who's next into the hole? That would be you.
Yeah, that'd be me. I'd crawl in with
and
my
obviously
panther.
your panther would follow. And what are you doing, Alessandro? Are you going to follow? Or are you
Yeah,
going to...
I'm going in.
You going in? So then...
For some reason, I thought he said he'd crawling with his pants down. But
Whatever floats your boat.
It's time to party, guys.
I put
I just look
two
at
and
him
two
and
together.
chuckle.
Yeah, backs to the wall.
So what is that?
Right, so there's
Wait
the
for
marching
the
orders. So you guys, as you all manage to get your way through, Alessandro brings up the rear, comes in last, scares the crap out of young Gillian, just appears behind him from nowhere. And so who has torches? Do you all still have torches?
I still have one.
Correct.
Specifically said that I dropped my
You
torch.
dropped yours. Het still has his
Ready,
light
both
on
hands
his
on my
loot.
glaive.
So Damaris has a torch. There's still plenty of light there for you to see with your dark vision anyway, so you're good. So are you going to proceed down the corridor?
I don't see why
Before we
not.
go in, before we go any further, at the entrance, I'm going to stick one of my torches against the wall on the stuff and just let it sit there.
Yep, no problem.
And I'm just gonna tap Azulan on the arm and say, do you think we ought to see if Ali wants to go first to check for
To check for what?
traps?
I did not think about the traps thing. Traps. There have been several scary traps in here.
Could be. You don't know.
I'll just step
I mean,
on them.
Ali!
What?
Do you want to come look for traps?
Oh, good here.
Oh bugger, well I better go first then, cause
I'll go.
So Alessandro's then makes her way sort of awkwardly past everybody. So like, excuse me.
Touch Gillian on the arse as I got to
Yeah.
go by.
excuse me. And makes her way to the front.
Hey, Het, you want to switch spots? Put him in the back.
Het is happy here.
So yes, so Alessandro, you're down the front with no dark vision, but the light, I'd say the light from both the torches that have been carried and Het's loot would give you enough light for probably 15, maybe 20 feet in front of you.
Cool. Start looking for traps.
I spark
roll
up another
investigation.
torch and give it to him. Give it to her.
She can't look for traps with one hand.
Oh right. Okay. Well, I spark up another torch and then hold it up for her as well.
You got two torches, so
Yeah.
your weapon's away. Okay.
Fine, I can fight with a torch if I need to.
Good point. Het would keep the loot, but not the second torch. He would douse it and give it back to Nemaris.
Okie dokie, done.
Yeah,
Right.
20, by the way.
So what was your roll for your investigation?
20. I rolled 20.
20. Right, so your first section looking for traps, you do not find any. It's just more webbing, and your movement's going to be halved here too, guys, because the webbing is sticky, like really sticky, and it makes it really hard to move. So it's going to be slow going for a little while.
Noted.
Hey guys, welcome to the chat. So your first 20 or so feet takes you a little while, about 10 or 15 minutes to go through and discover no traps. You look further down the corridor. The corridor you've gone round now a bend to the right, and it's now straightened up again. In the 20 or so feet of light that you do have, Alessandro, you again it drifts into blackness. You can't see much more beyond that. Make another investigation check for me.
Oh, look. It's sticky web.
What was the roll?
I rolled a 2, so investigation, please. Yeah,
A
5.
5? Yeah, you don't find any traps. As far as you know, it's completely clear.
At this point, I look at her and go, "Would you like to go back behind us now, love?"
Ah, it's all good.
But you don't
Alright.
you don't know that she hasn't found any traps because of her roll. Be aware of that.
I don't
See,
care.
I can
She's
find all the
looking.
traps.
So do you move forward another 20 feet?
Yeah.
So you move forward again another 20 feet. It takes you again, the whole party takes about 10 or 15 minutes to move sort of 20, 30 feet, 'cause it is slow going. Make another investigation check. And everyone make a perception check as well, please.
14 I got for investigation.
14 for investigation. No traps.
13.
13.
10.
Remember
30,
your
20.
passives. If you don't get higher than your passive, take your passives.
It rolled a 1.
Oh shit! You don't hear anything. So as you move forward, with a collective roll, you're all fairly aware that the noise is getting louder. The hissing, that low hiss, is increasing in volume. It's definitely getting closer, but it's not coming closer to you. I mean, you're obviously going closer to it. You still hear those sort of, they sound like footsteps, but multiple footsteps. And again, it sounds like it's coming from the ceiling, from the wall. It's kind of echo. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where it may be. But as you advance further down the corridor, you now notice cracks of light in the distance, in the shape of what could possibly be another door.
So whose idea was it to come down here in the first place?
I
Aslan
think
just
it was
raises a hand.
common goal.
I was muted. I rolled 2 17s on that.
That's right. Everyone would have heard the same.
But do we feel anything?
Apart from the sticky web, no.
Okay.
Everything's
I just
sticky.
want to make sure.
Like,
I
if
mean,
you put your hand,
it's web, so.
yeah, if you put your hands out on the walls, that they stick like you'd stick to like flypaper. It's that same sort of sensation. It's really sticky and soft to the touch, like spongy. It definitely feels like this is.
Oh my god, is that where we
Any-
got the idea for flypaper
any-
from?
Would I recognize any of this from any of my time in the army when I was going through?
Roll a history check.
That would be a no.
What was your roll?
I rolled a 5. No, I rolled a 3.
It's one of 3. Yeah, it seems familiar, but you just can't recall. You just, yeah. I mean, you guys have fought large things before, snakes and such, but you're not 100% sure what this would be.
If I put my hand on the wall, do I feel anything? Like vibrations or anything?
Not really. Not anything other than what your hand is making, basically.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
So, do you proceed towards the door?
We've come this far away, let's keep going.
Looking for more traps.
More traps. Investigation. Final investigation check.
Got a 10. No, 11.
11. Still no traps. But what you've just determined is that this webbing is coating everything. So even if there was a trap, it probably wouldn't even trigger. It's thick, it's spongy, it's sticky, and yeah, there's no way even a pressure plate trap would even trip in the original corridor. The webbing is covering everything.
Then I shall move back, let Namaris take the lead.
You're gonna swap positions.
Right. I thought Aslan wanted to go first. But I don't mind.
Directly behind you, so if you move back, I'll just be at the front.
Yeah, no worries.
So Aslan in front, then Namaris, and then Elisandra.
I'll put one of my torches away as soon as we've got Aslan back in front, and I'll take out my...
Your axe. You'll need 2 hands for your axe.
Not if I've got one of my hand axes.
This is true. I didn't hear that because your microphone cut out.
I'll take out one of my hand axes.
Thank you. Right, so you make your way slowly towards the door, towards what you think is a door, and as you get there, what do? You can see the light cracking around the tops and sides.
Hey, run up and I knock. No, joking.
Yeah, don't joke about these things, eh?
I think about running up and knocking. I stop myself.
Is there a handle on?
You feel all around the door, and there is indeed a small handle, just like almost like a ring. It is and it isn't. Like you can feel it around the edges, but you can still see the light coming through. You grab the handle. The handle's got a bit of webbing on it, but you can still feel the handle. It's like one of those old style cast rings. Like it's just a ring on a shaft that goes through the door, and you know that you could probably turn it, and it would probably open the door, or pull it, or some sort of mechanism that would open the door.
Right before I go to open the door, I'd like to look around just to make sure there are no other passageways. This is the only
roll
tunnels.
an investigation.
That would be 12.
And that would be no. There's no other passages or anything like that. It's just a single corridor leading to the store.
Very good.
At this point, is the walking noise louder?
It as you guys sort of get to the door, and you have now just realised that you haven't heard it for a few minutes, and there is no sound at all. Just the slight breeze that you hear coming through the corridor, the sound of your feet, and everything against the sticky web, that sort of sticky, gluey sound as you move, but the sound has stopped.
Then I guess I'm opening this door.
Gillian, make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
That would be a 17.
17. Again, you feel the urge to sneeze, and you manage to stifle it once again. You get right to the point where you're about to sneeze, and you just cover your nose and your face. It's like, oh shit. You think, you get a bit of an itchy nose and a bit of a sniff. That's about it. So, Aslan, the door. Do you wish to open it, sir?
The door. I'm going to open it, but I'm going to open it
slowly. Roll a stealth check to open the door. See how quietly you can open the door. Just do a straight roll, because you're not moving. It's just opening the door.
Straight roll.
Just a straight stealth
15.
check. 15. You slowly turn the handle, and you hear it make that faint sort of clicking noise as the latch opens, and you push the door ever so gently. Makes a little bit of a squeak. I mean, it hasn't been open for a while, but it's not too bad. And you crack it open about 2 or 3 inches, without any hassles at all. You want it open any further than that?
Can I see anything?
As you sort of peer through, because you got dark vision, it's a dimly lit room. Again, from what you can see a dimly lit torch on a wall. You can see a doorway on the far side of the room. You can't really hear anything at this stage, but you see again more webbing along the wall and up the ceiling, around where the torch is. The floor is not as covered, but there's definitely webbing there. If you peer sort of around to your right a little bit further, you can see what looks to be humanoid shaped cocoons, if you will. A couple hanging from the ceiling, a couple on the wall, one or two on the floor as well.
Can I specifically try to peer looking directly up at the ceiling?
If you sort of half-pie crouch and look up the ceiling, again, it's really thick with webbing, and again you see a few more of those body-shaped cocoons sort of hanging. Picture, I don't know if anyone's seen the movie It. Those that have,
nope.
Picture the like a roof of a cave, that just has webbing hanging down low, and it's all thick. Looks like there's holes and
Like
tunnels.
a sky trampoline.
Well, it looks like you'd see almost like a tunnel through the webbing. You can see it sort of come out, like there's a bit of a hole, and it sort of, you can see it disappears into the ceiling.
I see what you mean.
Right,
I'm
I'm
legit
gonna...
just picturing Shelob's lair, but in a castle.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I'm just gonna put my torch out and grab my great axe.
No worries. Torch goes out. Still got the loot, so you guys can still see where you are. What are we doing, guys?
I'm just gonna push the door open. Sort of push it and let go so that it opens itself as much as it can.
Okay, so you give it a bit of a push. It doesn't really swing too much. It's quite a heavy door, but you give it a solid enough push that it probably opens 2/3 of the way. And as that door swings open, and you can pretty much all of you be able to see into the room. It's dimly lit, so it's not dark. Again, you look up and you see the roof is just covered in lots and lots of web. Looks like a maze of little tunnels quite high in the ceiling. You've got the cocoons of humanoid-shaped cocoons hanging in different areas down those walls. Some of them are on the floor. The ones on the floor look like they've been broken open and look dry. The ones that are hanging still look quite sticky. Over by the door, now that you've pushed it open, you can see a single kobold. This one looks different. He looks a little bit bigger than the last one, the ones you've dealt with previously. He hasn't noticed you, but he's standing there. He's got a sword and a shield, and on his back he's got what looks to be a small crossbow.
Can I sidle up behind him and try and whip him off?
He's not by you. He's across the room.
Alright, well that's not going to work then, is it?
No. He's right over across the other side of the room, near the other door that you can see.
Don't forget what I just said then.
I guess.
Can I see this from the back?
What I'll do is we will switch to the battle map,
Yes.
and I will show you guys roughly where we are. So Kobold is there in that far corner, and
Doorways. Sweet.
there is a closed door. There.
Just while you're doing that, I just need to run for a quick... Namers just needs a quick...
Should go for a quick pee. Okay. So that's about the size of your room. It's not a very big room. It's only about 40 feet across.
I just had one of those sneezes.
So, see, yeah, so you've got the kobold in the far corner. He's essentially what you guys can't see from your angle. That much of the room. That's about as much of the room you can actually see.
That looks like a bloody newspaper.
It is.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Pretty much.
It's a painted newspaper.
It literally looks like there's a zombie.
But you could possibly push the door open the rest of the way to reveal the rest of the room. You're not sure whether that would attract attention of the kobold. Right, guys, what are we going to do?
I'm gonna walk in.
Probably open the door more.
Want to push the door open?
Well, to be able to see the rest of the room, and if that's the only critter.
We're pushing the door open. Now, what, a second kobold. Similarly armed. He is on the opposite side of the room, obviously. He hasn't noticed you either. They seem to be stationed there, guarding something, possibly.
Let's think about this, team. Head is whispering as best he can. If we are getting stuck, and it's making us hard to move, those kobolds could well be stuck in here themselves. They might be the feast of whatever beast lay these silky sheets.
What you have noticed about the room now that the door is opened is that the floor is not as thickly coated as the corridor you've just come down. So you would probably all be intelligent enough to know that your footing would probably be a lot better in the room than in the corridor.
He stands by his statement.
All right, who's first?
I'm going to run past everyone and shoot an arrow at the first kobold we saw.
Oh God.
Good luck running down the corridor.
I'm just
Well,
wondering.
as I say,
I can't run past everyone.
Considering, yeah, you can't really run past anyone because it's just not going to happen.
I was just gonna grab him by the collar as he went past anyway.
Yeah, I was going to fix up the Discord here as well because we're missing Neymar's on our list.
He only went to the toilet.
I just want to make sure that everybody's sort of here and we're all...
I'm gonna tell the Panther to go up in front of everyone else.
You won't be able to. You won't be able to fit past anyone. You're in a narrow corridor. Single file's about all you're going to get in this one here. So you're going to have to wait. You try and push past Het, and Het sort of
gives me the elbow.
Like as you go to push past him, he sort of turns to see what you're doing, and you cop an elbow on the chin.
It's a shame your pitch isn't a spider, eh? Could have sent it in. Ha!
So, can I tell if the corners of the room on the floor are thick and webbed?
The what's drawn there is just to let you know that it is webbed. No, the whole floor, like the whole floor is quite thin compared to where you are. It gets thicker as it goes up the walls, and I say it's really thick on the ceilings where the cocoons are hanging. I say the few cocoons you can see on the floor, the ones that, like I said, they look dry, they look brittle. From what you can see from where there's one closest to the door, it's been broken out, like it's been devoured.
I'm thinking stealth takedowns, so we can question at least one of these guys.
I'm thinking I'm going to walk in as close to the lower kobold as I can.
Okay.
With my movement.
You're gonna have to roll a stealth. I mean, it's an open room. There's no cover. There's shadow against the walls, so you probably could stealthily get close. You'd have to roll a stealth check though.
Oh, I'm not bothered about alerting him. I'm not trying to be stealthy.
Okay, so you just want to walk in?
I just want to walk in as far as I can go.
Okay, you're in the front, so it's your first call. So how far do you want to go? As far as your full movement?
As close as I can to that kobold, yeah. Bottom one.
You will get within striking range of him. He would have seen you coming, however, so I'll get everyone at this point to roll initiative.
My lucky dice.
Nat 20.
Fuck yeah.
16.
Hang on, guys. I'll do the kobolds, and we'll get you guys. Right. So kobold 1. So Gillian first.
16.
Aslan.
Nat.
Yeah, so it still adds your modifier to it.
Which one was this?
Just your initiative. It'll be at the top of your sheet.
21. 21.
Alessandros?
12.
Well, Nemaris?
5.
Wow.
I lied. Mine's 17. I had my proficiency, not initiative.
Okay. And Hit?
Hit got 16.
Not too bad. 16. Gillian got 17.
Yeah.
All right then. Right, so off there, good point. Right, guys. So Aslan makes his way in. What is I'll give everyone else their movement before we go into combat. Who was next? Namaris, what are you wanting to do? Because I'm assuming you would have all moved at the same time before combat actually starts. So, if you wanted to move, that is.
I will go up behind.
Up behind Aslan.
Mhm.
You will get about that far.
Fine. Gives him somebody to back him up.
And Alessandros, are you wanting to stealth? I dare say. There is shadow in the room. You can. There is shadow against the walls.
I'll definitely do.
Turn your speakers off. Roll a stealth check, too, dude.
17.
17. As far as you know, you are hidden. Where would you like to move?
Up top.
Your full movement will get you to there.
Cool.
And yeah, there's shadow all along where the torches are. There's sort of like dim light coming down and like a cone down to the floor, leaving some quite dark areas against the walls. Hit, you are next in line.
Hit will move just to the right-hand side of the doorway, which is his full movement, I believe.
Will be. And Gillian.
I'm going to go into the room as far as I can. And have my panther as far as it can in front of me.
What's your panther's movement? 30 or 40?
50.
50.
50.
Sorry, DM, hit just inside the right-hand side of the door.
Done. So, with that, we will go to the initiative order, which has the Kobold. Kobold 2, which Aslan approached, gets the first attack.
Surprising.
They rolled really high.
Yeah.
Like, that's high. Like, that's really freaking high.
He rolled a nat 20 as well, so
He's got better initiative.
Yeah.
his dex is +2, so.
Little man syndrome gives him good initiative.
The monster's got to have a chance sometime.
Yeah, it's sometimes. Come on. Right. So as you guys enter the room, he sort of turns and goes, "Intruders!" and alerts his buddy as well. These guys are bigger than the kobolds you've dealt with previously. They're almost half as big again, carrying a spear, a shield, crossbow, and they look at you, Aslan. He looks at you and instantly goes into a battle stance. He will attack you with his spear, which has a reach of 10 feet also.
My God.
A range of 20 feet, sorry, if he's
like
going to throw
me.
it. But he's going to attack you twice. Holy crap, they both miss. Can't believe that. He rolled a 4 and a 2. He lunges at you with a
Should've
spear,
been a
and
60.
you just sort of, you see it coming and you sort of step out of the way. And he lunges again and you sort of take half a step backwards and it just misses your breastplate. And he just is sort of sitting there growling at you. Next on the initiative order will be yourself, Aslan.
Okay. I wasn't quite aware that they were slightly this large. But I'm gonna go ahead with my plan anyway. It might not work.
Well, it may not, no.
What I would like to try to do is close the gap and try and see if I can sort of pick it up and launch it up onto the wall where it will hopefully stick.
Yes.
Okay, so you run at it, you're into melee, full melee range. Make a strength check versus acrobatics. This will be interesting. Versus, athletics, sorry.
Ooh.
Strength bonus is +5. 19.
19. Well, the kobold rolled a natural 19. So plus his dex is 21. So as you reach down to grab it, this thing it moves, man. He just, as you go to grab it, pick it up under its armpits, it sort of deftly sort of steps and side turns and twists away from you and spins around and back to a battle stance right in front of you. And sort of gives you a really puzzling look. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Would that count as an attack action on my turn?
I would use that as your movement, because I mean that would have been your, because you only moved 5 feet, so I'd give you your attack action. That would be, I'd say that would have used up the rest of your movement to try and pick him up.
I would like to use Commander Strike then.
Commander Strike.
Yes.
Right,
Forgo my attack to use a bonus action to direct an ally that can see and hear you to use its reaction, adding the superiority die to the damage roll.
Nice.
So I'm going to call to Nemaris
Yeah.
to see if you can grab him or end him, one of the two. Just deal with it, basically, is all I scream in your direction.
Right.
And I'll roll 1d8 to see what bonus you get to the damage.
Yeah, because you'd be able to get in. You'd definitely be able to get into it and straight in there. So you can use your bonus action to essentially do what you've just been asked to do, if you
I
want.
can do that for you if you like.
And I'm pretty sure you're next on the initiative order anyway.
And that's
The
also
superiority
flanking, I
die
believe,
gives you a max of 8.
We'll have to wait for your turn, but that because Het's next on the. We'll have to wait for initiative, but just remember that. So it's this. Remember the superiority die damage.
+8.
+8. So just we'll get through the initiative. So the next in, so that's everything you're gonna do. Are you gonna forgo the rest of your action and bonus for that? I believe.
Yep. Yeah, all of my turn up.
Kobold, the other kobold now gets his turn. He sees this and he grabs his shield and his spear and uses his movement action to, well, basically his whole turn to bash his spear on his shield, making a really loud noise, and it kind of echoes in this chamber. And you guys then hear that hissing sound again, and it's a lot louder now. And from the ceiling drops a giant wolf spider.
A giant what spider?
Wolf spider.
Poking our
Fuck my life.
It drops it drops out of the ceiling and onto the floor directly in front of your companion and makes a attack. So I'm just going to put him on the initiative order as well, just quickly. We'll get the surprise attack.
Again, whose idea was this?
So
Aslan. Again.
the spider's going to use his web attack against your companion. Rolling. What is your AC?
14 for my spider.
They rolled 18 to hit, so it hits your spider. roll a Constitution saving throw for your pet as well. What was the roll?
I think it's a 3.
3.
I don't think it gets my
No.
any of my mods
No,
for
it's
it.
on his. So
So
takes 8 points of piercing damage, and also takes 10 points of poison damage.
it is incapacitated.
Unconscious.
Yeah.
If the poison damage reduces the target to 0 points, the target is stable but poisoned for 1 hour. Even after regaining hit points, it is paralyzed while poisoned in this way.
Okay. Well,
So
it's
you're-
stabilized but out.
Hit is stabilized but poisoned for the next hour, and will be paralyzed.
That was almost double its health.
Almost double his health. It was pretty close.
Yeah, it's 8 points away.
So now it's your turn, Gillian.
Hold on, I've got to check this. I'm going to bonus action. Yeah, bonus action to Hunter's Mark said spider.
In Hunter's Mark the spider.
Yep. And
Spider is
then
Hunter's
I'm
marked.
and then I'm going to shoot an arrow at it.
Roll your attack.
7.
7.
It hit a 20 and then it hit my freaking lighter and it flipped over. I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
So as you draw, you see your new companion just drops to unconsciousness, and you pull back the bow and just you don't know why, but you're just so emotional when you went to fire and you just fire wide, just completely misses it and hits the wall on the back.
Is this thing that big?
It's very big, yes. It'd be about in proportion to you guys. It is huge.
Okay.
So is you only got the one attack?
Yeah, I only have one attack right now.
Okay. So you're gonna move.
that's
bonus action.
I
know you use
I'm
bonus
going
action
to
for Hunter's Mark.
I'm going to move back into the corner further to the south.
No problem. Right into the corner. Next in line,
and that's my turn.
Will be Master Bard. Hit your turn.
Hit pulls forth his lute and strikes a discordant E minor and says, "We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in caves and in fields. We shall fight on the battlegrounds. We shall fight these spiders, and we shall never surrender." And he casts Bless. Cast Bless on Azalan, on Neymaris, and on Gillian. You all get a D4 to your saves, and let me just double check.
Saves and attacks, as far as I can remember.
Yes, saving throws and attacks. Not the damage, just the attack.
Just the attack roll. So, is that your turn, sir?
The Master Bard will now walk 2 steps just out the doorway, so he isn't in the room anymore.
Done. So, the giant spider is next on the initiative order. Essentially, the only one that really tried to attack it was Gillian. So, he is going to see if he recharges his web first. And does so. And he's going to make a web. What's the range of that? 30 feet. He's going to make a web attack against you, Gillian. Rolls a 23 to hit. I'm pretty sure that hits. Make a Constitution saving throw. Make sure you're not muted.
Oh, that's in that one.
And that one on your con throw.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And you take 7 points of poison damage.
Okay.
So,
Would you put your poisoned and your condition?
no, he's not poisoned.
Okay.
You're only poisoned if you reduce to 0 hit points. So
Gotcha.
Does this said web do anything to me where I'm like immobilized or anything?
basically what it oh sorry, hang on, I made the wrong checks. Yep. Yes, you are restrained.
I'm restrained. Okay.
Hang on, I ballsed up. Remove the shit. Hang on. Okay, your cat's not unconscious. Your cat's restrained. For one.
Well, it is unconscious because it's at 0.
No, it wouldn't have taken that much damage. There is
Oh.
there is no damage to the web, so your cat's not unconscious. It's just restrained and it's not poisoned. I read the wrong thing. I read the melee attack.
So it only took 10 points of poison.
No poison, no damage. There's 0 damage. It's just restrained. So it still failed the check.
Okay. I was at 28 health, so
So yeah, you don't take any damage either.
I'm just restrained.
You're just restrained.
All attacks are advantage to me.
So yeah. Sorry about that. That was my mistake.
And I have disadvantage on dex saves.
Yes. So
Okay.
pretty much, yeah. So the target is restrained by webbing. As an action, the restrained target can make a strength check to try and bust the webbing. Webbing can also be attacked and destroyed as well, so you can actually attack it. But you have disadvantage on attacks on the webbing for yourself.
Right, but not disadvantage on attacks in general.
Yes, I ballsed up, Drax. Thank you very much. Piece of shit.
Oh yeah, wait. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and the creature's attack rolls have disadvantage.
Yeah,
So we do have disadvantage.
because you were
attacks.
virtually completely restrained, so you can't really attack properly. So I will mark you both as restrained with a black marker. So you've been smushed against the wall, and your pet's been smushed against the floor. And the spider will then use spider climb to climb up the ceiling.
And see spider. Oh.
Well, there's 1 second that it grabs him. Well, he's going to crawl up the wall, not up the ceiling. Let's see if this thing will hold. So
that's scary.
the spider is now 20 feet up the wall.
Oh.
And that is the spider's turn. Alchandras.
Okay, I move in a diagonally position towards the opposite wall, in front of the, well, up near the kobold.
The kobold by the door?
Yeah, so I'm just out of reach from him. Hopefully still hidden, I hope.
Well, if you cross there, there's a torch on that wall. I'll just mark it for you. So that area there would be in light enough that he would see you if you crossed it.
All right, then I'll go.
So essentially, there's one on this wall doing the same, and one on the back wall. So the spider would actually be above that.
Yep. Well, as an action, I will snuff out that light.
The one by the door?
Yep.
Consider it snuffed.
And move up to that spot.
Isn't this where the goblin says, "Hey, what's that?" Thinking taffers.
Last time means you win.
And
What was that?
I believe, as a bonus action, I can now. Where that goblin is he
Kobold.
kobold goblin? Am I able to get behind him?
Racist.
If you were to use your
Humanoid
if you were to
racist.
use your ability,
Yeah,
yes.
and do that.
You are now behind said kobold, and he has not noticed you. He does not know you're there.
I'm gonna have to end my turn because that was my action.
Yep. That is not a problem. Neymaris, you are next.
No, I was dealing with something for Aslan.
So what you can do is you can use your reaction to use that to essentially attack or pick up the dude. So you
I'm
move
gonna
into
do the
combat.
pick it up thing.
So you're gonna try and pick him up and throw him against the wall like Aslan instructed.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so roll a strength versus athletics.
Do you still get my superiority die to a booster?
Thank God for
I
that.
think it only goes to an attack though, doesn't it?
I believe it goes in the damage roll of an attack.
Yeah, damn. She's not actually attacking. She's just attempting to pick him up and throw him against the
Very
wall.
good.
16.
16. Well, you definitely pick him up. What we'll do is we'll probably add damage as you throw him against the wall, so it'll be a bludgeoning damage.
Right.
Okay.
Roll now another strength check to see how hard you throw him against the wall, because you picked him up. He rolled a 6.
5. I got a nat 1.
Oh wow, you got a now one. Yeah. So as she goes to throw him against the wall, she kind of misjudges the throw. Like he'll get to the wall, but it's a lot lower than what she hoped and a lot lighter. So let's see if he sticks.
Oh, hang on. Do I get my proficiency bonus with my strength?
Yes, you do.
Then 8.
Still does some work.
Fuck.
And he doesn't stick to the wall, but he will take 1d6 damage for falling 5 feet. So he takes 6 damage.
Plus superiority die?
Yes, actually, roll your d8.
The D8 got an 8.
An 8? Holy shit. Okay, so 14 points of damage. Lucky.
Jesus.
Lucky.
Holy
Like,
crap.
he fell on his head.
You heard a distinct crack. You think he might have broken his neck as he hit the ground. Lucky. What a lucky roll.
I look at Aslan and I'm like, wow, that didn't go quite as planned. No, did.
But you still have your
mean,
action. And your bonus
Technically, you
action.
dealt
Some
with it.
movement.
So I still have my action?
And your bonus action, because that was your reaction.
Right, well, my
Because
action,
of
I'm
Aslan's ability.
gonna turn around. Can I still move a foot? 5. How high is this bloody spider?
If you move out of combat of the kobold, he will get an attack of opportunity on you.
Shit.
He's
Oh, is he
not
still
dead.
alive?
Yeah, he's not dead.
Well, bugger that. I'm just gonna twack him with my great axe. Then.
Alright, roll to hit. I told you these ones are a bit more
Nat
hearty.
20.
Oh shit. These ones are a little bit more hearty than your average kobold, but you seem to be
Not
hacking
for
through
much
them. I said not for much longer with a roll like that. That definitely hits.
So that's a 1d12 plus 2, so that's 14 damage plus.
So you roll your d12 twice.
Yeah, that's 12. Plus 4 is 16.
You don't double your modifier.
I didn't.
So
12.
what's your natural damage on your weapon? D12 plus 2?
D12 plus 2, which is 14, and then I get the D4. Oh,
But
1d4.
did you roll your D12 twice? You crit.
Yes, I did.
You just said you rolled it once.
No, I rolled it twice,
And it hit 12 total.
and I got 12.
Right.
So
So what are you trying to add to it?
the blessed.
Bless, which is a D4.
So I got 4 for that, and then my damage, which is D12 plus 2, so that's 14, 16.
Right. It's dead. Okay. How do you kill it?
It's dead.
I turned my axe on its side and smoosh it.
You love doing that, don't you?
I do,
So-
and I'm like, don't you ever go at my friend, you bastard!
So as Namaris picks this thing up, attempts to throw it at the wall, and kind of it did some damage, but didn't quite plan out the way she got a bit frustrated. Didn't quite go into a rage, but got angry and just turned her giant axe to the flat and just made this kobold 4 inches shorter. Like his head's now sort of halfway in his neck, and he's sort of standing there gurgling and making like got bubbles of blood coming out of the wound, and sort of leans forward and just goes onto the floor in front of you.
Damn it! I was hoping for a kobold.
I just look at Namaris and say, you can use the pointy bit on the spider.
I just look at him and wink.
So as a land with a dead kobold, you probably got a bit of blood on you as well. It was a pretty sound thwack, and it would have sprayed a little bit. So you got a bit of kobold goop on you. It is your turn now, sir.
So the spider's 20 feet up in the air.
20
right?
feet in the air, yes.
So definitely out of
So
range.
he's literally sitting on the wall, like sort of moving and sort of deciding who's possibly going to try and eat next.
Haha, you can't get me.
So it's out of reach of my glaive, but not out of reach of my throwing axe.
That's correct.
Then I'm going to throw my throwing axe at the spider.
Righty-ho, then roll to attack.
What bonuses to get to my attack again? My strength.
Yes. Hang on a second. Action should be on your sheet. So hand axe is it's always +5. So it's strength, but
okay,
it's
cool.
strength plus proficiencies because of being proficient with dexterity. So it's always +5.
14.
14.
But do I get that +4 to a hit, or plus D4 to it?
That'll be if you wanted to use your bliss to hit.
Less.
You don't need it. 14 does hit. So,
Cool.
but you can use the bliss for that.
I'll just accept that I've hit it.
Yeah. So now your hand axe is 1d6 plus 3.
I'm going to spend a superiority die again.
Yes.
I'm going to use distracting strike.
Distracting strike. So when you hit with
So
a
I get to
weapon
add one
attack, you can
superiority
expend one
die.
superiority die to add the total damage roll on the next attack roll against the target by an attacker other than you. And they have advantage as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I get the damage from the superiority die, but the next person that attacks it, if it's before my next turn, gets advantage.
Yes.
Cool. So 1d6, you see?
1d6 plus 3, and your d8. So
Plus 3.
d8 plus a d6.
So 3 plus 3 is
6 plus your d8.
plus my d8 for another 3, 9.
9. Takes 9 damage. Gotta figure out what his damage is. Put it in there before I forget. That. So yeah, you throw the axe, and as you throw it up, it goes to turn and move and gets caught just under one of its front legs, and it almost sounds like a giant cat, but it is this massive low hiss, and you can see the axe sort of buried under its front leg there, and it's starting to sort of drip, sort of a dark green sort of ichor starts sort of running from the wound. It took a reasonable amount of damage.
Oh, nice. I'm looking it dead in the face. I'm hoping it's turned to me at this point. Just kind of like, yeah, come on then.
And is that your turn?
Would you say I got a chance to move in that as well?
You can, yes.
I would like to move closer to the middle of the room, sort of position myself above Namaris, but closer to Gilliam. So sort of slightly lower down than the Panther.
Up there.
Yeah, about there.
Cool. And that
Give it a
is
clear line of sight on me and the light there as well.
that is your turn. Kobold is next. So the kobold basically called in the spider. Can only really see the panther, so he's going to run at the panther.
Do I get an attack of opportunity?
Well, technically you weren't in combat with it, but I would say yes, you would, because you're within melee range. But then, do you want to give up your stealthy position?
No,
So
not yet.
the choice is yours.
Not yet.
So he's going to attack Attack!
Damn murder hobo kobold.
He's gonna make his 2 melee attacks against the panther.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
22 and a 14.
Both hit because
Both hit.
AC is 14.
Yeah, so both hits. And 11.
Quick question.
11 damage. 11 piercing damage on you, kitty cat. Yes, sir.
When it comes to attack and defense roll on that sort of thing, if you match their AC, do
That's
you
a hit.
or does the
Yeah.
defender win?
That's a hit.
Cool.
Yeah. So you've got to get
Ties go to the
equal
attacker.
equal to or higher than the defender's AC.
Nice, nice.
So yeah. So that's movement. And
Actually, did you do those both at advantage for the attack rolls?
no, but I'll roll again just in case you get a nat 20, which I don't. So
Okay, I just want to make sure.
yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you.
It'd be dead, so.
So yeah, so that will be its turn. It's got no bonus no bonus attack, or no bonus action. Nope, that's it. Next in line will be Gillian, who is restrained.
Question.
Yes.
Is it my action to command my panther to break free? Or is that my action to tell it to move?
I think it's your action
That's
to
the question.
make. I think it can make its own strength at the end of its turn. So it'll be at the end of your turn, you can both make a strength check to see if you break the webbing.
Oh, okay. So I can attempt to attack myself, and then we can both make it. Okay.
As far as I know, looking at it
Okay.
here, as
Because it
costs
says if
an
I
action.
tell it to move,
It costs an action to make the strength check.
it does.
Yep.
I'm going to command it to break free.
Okay. So roll a strength check for your companion.
Nat 1, so it's a 3.
Yeah, no, your panther struggles against the webbing and tries to bite at it and trying to move and just can't move. Just it's growling and sort of looking at you, looking at the kobold and growling some more and just can't move. Just fully stuck there.
Bye bye, panther. That's my turn.
That's right. Because you use your action.
Yeah, I'm restrained too, so.
Yep. So next in the initiative order, Hit. It is your turn again, sir.
Hate seeing this hilarity going on. Looks over at the scenario. Just checking. Can Hit see any damage on his own team that is needed to be attending first, or is it not too bad?
No, from
I
where
mean,
you
no
can
one
tell,
that-
no one's really been hit. Like you can see that Gillian is stuck against the wall with the webbing. You can see that the panther's also stuck in place. Has
the
taken a
panther's at
bit of
2.
damage from that. Yeah, the panther's taken damage at that strike, but that, as far as anyone else is concerned, I think the panther's the only one that's taken any damage at all.
Okay, then Hit will just pull out the loot. Well, he's already got it in his hand, and start his song. I come from the land, from the ice and snow, and he frostbite at the giant spider. Spider must make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw.
Sorry, con save.
Con save? It's even worse. It failed miserably. With 3.
Then it takes 3 cold damage.
3 cold damage.
And it has disadvantage on its next attack.
Okay. Not a problem.
Hit will then move north 5, 10, 15, and then towards the door 5, 10, 15. North 15 towards the door 15 on a diagonal.
Done. It puts you within melee range of a said kobold.
Correct.
Awesome. Right, next one is the spider. Let's see if he regenerates his web. He does. And what are we going to do
Is Gillian gonna get everyone killed again?
here? Anything is possible.
I mean, I have done nothing, so technically I've done nothing, so...
The spider is going to make a web attack at Alessandros.
It did spot me.
Web sense. While in contact with the web, the spider knows the exact location of any other creature in contact with the same web.
Smart ass.
So that is a 20, dirty 20 to hit. Make a...
Got disadvantage, does it not?
It is disadvantage, sorry. That's still a natural 17. So you are now restrained. You don't have to make... you can make, as an action on your next turn, you can make a strength check to see if you can break the webbing. Or you can attack the webbing itself, but you do so at disadvantage.
I'll do strength.
Con save?
No con save. It's just a straight. So as long as it hits, it's restrains.
Okay.
Yeah, the con save was on the bite attack for the poison.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
So you are now restrained where you are, Alessandros.
Cool.
So on your next turn, you are able to use an action to make a strength check, to break free. That is going to be the spider's turn. He's going to stay where he is. And Alessandros, it's your turn.
I'll do a strength attack.
Strength check, roll d20. Add your strength modifier.
16.
16. You break free, sir. Madam. Lady.
Okay.
Child.
He wants to.
That was your
I was
action.
thinking that.
However, so you have a bonus action and your movement left.
Okay. Where is it? Can't really attack though.
You can still attack with your offhand, but it's obviously not as good as your main hand attack. So it's up to you whether you decide to wait. Because for all intents and purposes, the kobold still doesn't know where you are. Hasn't seen you.
So it's 20 foot up. How far from the roof is it?
You can't see the roof. The entire ceiling is coated in webbing and it's hanging down. You're not sure where the actual roof is.
So pretty much I can go just above the spider there, can't I?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Because what you got, spider walk, I believe, or is that part of what's the ability?
The shadow.
The shadow step.
Yes, it doesn't actually say it has to be on ground or anything. It just says
If
teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space. So if I teleport above the spider
and you've got nothing to stand on, you'll plummet down to the top of the spider. So you want to land on top of the spider?
Yes.
With no action.
Well, you said I got an offhand.
You've got a bonus action, yeah.
Yeah, do that.
You want to do that? Okay.
Hang on. Bonus action. Hang on.
Yeah, you can attack with your bonus action with your offhand, but you won't get your sneak attack with it.
No, that's fine. It should bring him down to
possibly
attack. Should.
Possibly.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, he's on the wall, so yeah. I mean, if you want to do that, I'll definitely give it a go. Yep. What I will have you do though is to make a dexterity check to see that you can land on the spider and hang on to it. Not dexterity, athletics. Make it athletics.
Okay, that's 18.
18? Hey, dude, that's...
Wow.
You are now on the giant spider's back. The giant spider, the spider feels it and hisses, and its legs go up to try and grab you, and it can't bring its legs back that far.
So now attack roll, yeah?
Attack roll for your offhand. I didn't expect that.
So I rolled a 11, so with I add proficiency.
You add your. That should be your attack, just your straight attack roll, which would be your
Okay.
dex plus proficiency.
11.
It'll
plus
say
4.
on the weapon on your offhand. So your dagger, it's +4. That's
Okay,
15
so
to hit.
yep.
That hits. Roll for your damage. And for your daggers in your offhand.
Yep.
So 1d4 without your
One-
+2 because you don't get your proficiency
2.
on the offhand. So 2 damage. You guys see this? Alessandra just appears on top of the spider and drives her dagger into the top of the spider's head, and the spider almost squeals out in pain. It's a really unnerving sound, sort of a, and deals 2 piercing damage to the spider.
As this
And-
happens, Azalan's just looking up, tilts his head slightly to one side and raises an eyebrow.
Neymaris, it is your turn.
I'm just.
I feel like
looking at-
Frodo.
And Aslan, you're after Neymaris. So.
I'm
Okay.
looking at this,
Prepare.
this scratch in my head, going, "What? Fuck did you get up there, girl?" Right. So I kind of shake my head, and then I turn around and I look at this other kobold because I think, well, she's on that, so there's no point me trying to bloody hurt it because I'll hurt her.
Well,
So I move over to the other kobold. With my great axe still in hand,
yes.
and I rage.
You rage with your bonus action.
I rage
Neymaris
with my bonus action.
rages. Her eyes glow a burning red. She roars with anger. Make your attack.
Right, ready for this?
I'm ready. Nat 1.
Pretty much.
Close.
It's a nat 3.
16, that hits. Roll your damage.
I get.
Remember, add +2 for your rage.
So 10, 12, 14.
14 points of damage. Neymaris comes charging in at the beside this kobold, and Het, you see this because you're the closest person there, and you see her eyes are just glowing and emanating this red sort of misty glow as she sort of surges forward. Great axe above her head, slams it down on this kobold, and it comes right down the back of his shoulder and buries itself 2 or 3 inches into its shoulder. And she rips it back out, and the kobold squeals in pain, blood spraying everywhere. And Norris is sort of standing there, just heavy breathing, holding his axe in front. Bonus action? I know, use your bonus action, your rage, sorry. Your
rage.
movement. You got another, you can move again if you want.
Nope. I'm going to stay where I am
So, yeah.
because that gives me my allies an advantage on them on any melee attack rolls towards that.
They certainly do. Aslan, you are next to.
I would like to try and do some fancy shit.
Do some fancy shit, dope. That's all it's all about.
So,
Pull
I'm
out the
gonna
fancy
try
stuff.
with glaive in both hands.
Yes.
I would like to run the wall, jump, and try and boost off with one foot to reach at the spider to
It's
stab.
20 feet up, and you've got 10-foot reach with your glaive. Make a
Decent enough leap. I might
acrobatics.
make this.
Make an acrobatics check for me. 'Cause you definitely better get to the wall easily. You have probably 5-10 feet worth of movement left.
18.
18. I would have made a DC 15. So yeah, 18. You're pretty dexterous. So you run up. You take two big steps up the wall, and as you push off the wall, you turn and bring the glaive down to the side of the spider there. So roll an attack roll.
Jumps off sticky wall.
It's
17.
not that
Turns
sticky. It's
into
not as
Spider-Man.
sticky.
Turns into Spider-Man.
Kinda.
17 to hit.
17 to hit. That hits.
Nice one. Where's my
Roll your
glaive?
damage.
1d10 plus 3. There we go. 12.
12. Ooh. As you sort of come down with the weight of the glaive and full extension, and you catch it right in the side, just beside Alessandros' foot, and comes down and it sinks right into the abdomen of the spider. The spider sort of reels in pain. As it does so, the spider loses its grip on the wall and plummets to the floor, taking Alessandros with it.
Yay!
The spider lands on its feet. Make an acrobatics for me, Alessandros, to see if you land without taking damage as you fall off the spider as he hits the floor.
20.
20? Yeah, you land, you come off the spider that side there, and almost like a 3-point landing, like Superman landing, ready to attack again. And the spider looks really hurt. That wound was deep and it was nasty. And yeah, you managed to jump off right at the last sort of second and sort of roll into that 3-point landing kind of thing. So yeah, the spider's looking pretty rough. Alessandros, it is your turn.
Attack, I guess.
You want to attack it? No worries. You've got... Yeah, you get sneak attack as well. You got Alessandros Nemoris within 5 feet.
Get a sneak attack as well.
You do.
Nice.
Before you even just roll your hit dice. I just want to see if you hit, because it doesn't matter what damage you deal with, it's going to die. Just roll to see if you hit.
Nah.
What did you roll?
4.
Wow, dude, seriously?
I know.
Roll your offhand. You've still got a second attack. Roll your bonus action. Don't tell me you failed on your bonus as well.
4.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Damn it, I didn't bless him.
Actually, no. He's within 5. Anyone within 5 feet of you gets advantage, don't they? No Maris.
Yep.
Yes.
So roll both those attacks again. I forgot about that. She's within 5 feet of the creature.
30-19.
Dirty 19, yeah, that definitely hits. So explain to the group how you dispatch this large spider.
You probably uppercut through its head.
You bring the dagger up through the bottom of its, sort of more and up through the top of its, where its head would be, I guess.
Yeah.
So you watch Alessandra. She comes tumbling off the spider, sort of rolls forward, lands on sort of knee, a dagger and rapier up in front, and then sort of takes two, 3 steps towards the spider and just sort of slides in underneath, bringing the rapier up through the bottom of the spider's where its head would be, where its eyes are, and the rapier just pops out the top and rips it back out again, and then all that ichor, dark green ichor, comes spilling out from underneath, and the spider just sort of drops. You know how you just expect something large on its legs give way, and it just drops heavily to the ground with a thump. Unmoving, legs sort of twitching a little bit. And dead. Who is next? Neymaris. Last in the attack line.
I'm gonna have another go at this bloody cobalt.
Roll to attack.
And I'm still raging.
You are.
So that I get 16 to hit.
That hits.
Hold horses helps if I actually do a D20 instead of a D12. Still another 16 to hit.
You've already hit. Why are you rolling a get hit again?
Because I rolled a D12 to hit instead of a D20.
Doesn't matter, you still hit. Just roll your attack.
Right, okay, so I get 10.
You
11,
hit,
12.
lady, it's okay.
I get 14 to hit. 14 damage.
You sure you get 14 to hit?
No, 16 damage.
You can't get 16 damage. Did you roll
Ten?
max? Did you roll max dice?
No. Hang on. I rolled a 10 plus 2
Plus 2 is
is
14.
14 plus 2 is
No. Did you roll your d4?
proficient. Oh,
You
D4.
don't keep adding your proficiency. It's already added. Your d12 plus your 2 is your damage. Then your rage, which is plus 2. And then the bless.
No,
Bless is
just
on the
for
hit.
attack roll.
Yeah, so you don't add your bless, which is what
So-
you did last time.
Got 10 plus 2 is my damage.
Plus 2, so it's 14.
Yeah.
Right. So, anyway, it's dead.
Okay.
Explain how you kill it. But
This
just,
time I'm gonna look
remember, it's whatever it says on your weapon, plus your rage. That's it. Unless you have a buff that adds to your damage roll.
I turn around, I wink at Aslan, I pick up my axe, and I slice it in two. And then I slice it again into thirds. And then I slice it again into 4 pieces. Kind of just look at it and go, right, see, this is what you get when you mess with us.
I just call out, that's more like it!
Oh, guys. That's awesome.
And I take a deep breath and stop raging.
Well, your rage lasts another round before it stops, but that's the end of the initiative. Order, combat over. You have dispatched Giant Spider and friends. Well done, team.
I'm flailing like a little girl stuck in a web.
You are. So,
I'm like,
for the
fight
sake
out.
of brevity of the story, we'll say you guys attack the web and break poor Gillian and his pet out, if you so wish.
I
leave him there.
Yeah, leave him.
You can leave him there.
all right, I'm rolling an attack on this. Actually, I'm just gonna do a strength check to get out.
Roll the strength check. We'll see if you can do it.
It's a 22 for me,
Yeah, you break free.
and then for my panther, it's a 5.
Your panther's still stuck.
Heck's already got his dagger out, cutting the panther free.
Yeah, so the panther's free. Right, you're both free. It's all good. So what are you guys
I'm
going to do?
I'm going up to my panther, and I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on it.
Okay, roll your cure wounds.
D8.
I'm gonna go over to Gillian
3.
and slap him.
Roll to hit.
5.
You miss completely. As you go to slap him, he's too worried about his panther, and he sort of ducks under your hand and goes directly for his panther, and you just completely miss.
I shake my head.
Why are you trying to hit me?
Anyone a good recipe for spider?
Why was I trying to hit you? Because you always get us into
Skewered
these stupid
spider
messes.
Aslan did it. I didn't come in here first.
I'm gonna go running past you all.
I'm gonna see if I can rescue the spider gland.
You're gonna make a survival check.
While he's doing that, I'm going to wipe the blood off my glaive on the spider.
Yep.
And go to retrieve my hand axe.
21.
Your hand axe is there, so you got it. 21. Yeah, you carve into the body of the spider and retrieve intact one giant spider poison gland.
I was gonna try and skin the spider because it's pretty furry and soft.
Yeah, spider skin's not really good for anything.
I want to take the spider's head off, take it back as a trophy.
They don't really have a head as such. I mean, and
I'll take the abdomen then.
and the rapier kind of smushed that bit. It's kind of opened it up. So I mean, you could probably take the fangs because it looked like the front fangs would be kind of big.
Fangs are cool.
So
Yes, we'll
I
take
would,
the fangs.
yeah, I would say you
Is
could.
the abdomen useful for the silk?
I was just gonna say I want to find a way to get silk. Can I harvest silk
Can.
off the walls?
I think spiders, from my recollection, guys, they only make the silk as
As they
they
need it.
are spinning it.
So the gland wouldn't be any use to anyone. You could probably attempt to harvest some of the silk from the wall. I don't know what you'd use it for, but
Bags are made from silk.
I mean,
Yeah,
we could always throw Gillian up there and walk out. I mean,
There's true. Well,
Can I take the abdomen and put it in the bag? Well, the deep pockets bag anyway.
it probably wouldn't last very well in that bag. I mean, by now, because of the extra bits you took from the dragon, the contract bag would be pretty much full. And your bag of holding that you carry doesn't really preserve anything that well, so it wouldn't last very long in there.
How
you
poor a
could,
condition would
but-
it be by the time we move back to the guild?
It'd take you a day to get back to Paham. Then, depending on how you travel, if you're going to travel by teleportation, you're probably looking at at least a day of traveling, depending on how hot it is out. It's going to be pretty rough by the time you get it back to Belond.
I just want to show it to the guild master.
I mean,
That's all.
again, your
I just
fangs
want to
would probably be your best bet there. They're probably the best trophy you could take from a giant spider, because they're pretty nasty looking things, and they'd probably last a lot longer than the abdomen, which is all squishy and full of goop.
I'll pocket the fangs.
Question.
Yeah, they'd be a bit big to put in your pocket. You'll have to put them in a bag.
We'll bag the fangs.
They're pretty big. I mean, they're probably as big as long as your arm, so they're pretty big.
Damn, those are some good fangs. I'm taking
Yeah.
those.
Question. DM.
Yes.
Would I be able to fashion a bowstring from silk?
Yeah, you probably could actually.
From spider silk? So could I harvest some, like climb the wall maybe and harvest some silk from up
I
above?
don't think you'd need to just.
You wouldn't
Peel it
need
up
to climb.
yourself.
You wouldn't be able to climb. Wouldn't need to climb the wall. There's plenty of silk within arm's reach.
Okay, so can I attempt to do that?
Yeah.
Arm's reach.
Survival check.
That
I'm not sure how
is a
useful a sticky spider silk bowstring
18.
would be.
18.
Just thinking that.
Yes.
It is sticky, but I mean, if you don't know how you would possibly do it, but you harvest enough that you think you could possibly make a bowstring out of it. You might have to do some research to discover whether you can or not. But yeah, you're still not 100% sure at this stage.
So
But you've got
are we
enough there
moving
to
on?
possibly. So guys, we're 10:15, so I think about a quarter of an hour to go. So you still haven't finished down here yet. You still places you can go. So what we'll probably do is we'll probably call it here, and pick up at the end of pick up again next time from this particular point.
Well, if we're having a rest, I might just spark.
Well,
up
you
a
don't have to have a
fire
rest. The thing is, you don't
roast
have to rest.
spider.
We could just pick up the story from this point. So it's
I was
up to
gonna
you.
roast
It's up to you whether you guys want to take a short rest here, which you probably could. But again, you'd have to make sure you barred yourselves in or ensured that you weren't discovered during the night, but which still could possibly happen.
Barbecue spider leg, anyone?
I feel like we just had a rest. Less than an hour ago or something. It wouldn't have taken us long to get through it
No,
into this area.
it's
right?
taken you probably an hour to get to this room.
And
This
nobody
fight probably
actually got
took
hurt, did they?
yeah, this fight probably took maybe 25 minutes, half an hour. The only only one in your party that took damage was the panther. As far as I can tell, as far as I
Azalon
remember.
feels very uncomfortable resting in a room with spider holes in the ceiling.
Oh, good.
So I mean, it's up to you. You could make your way back. We can say over the next over the next hour, you make your way back to the dragon chamber, and
But there's a door.
or you can go to the door. Like so, we can pick it up exactly at this point next week,
Sounds
in 2
good.
weeks' time.
Staying here sounds excellent.
Yeah, so we can pick it up at this point. So I'll give XP out for tonight. Everybody take 120 XP for the fight because of the spider and the kobold. Take another, so make it 220 for the other kobolds. Let's say bonus 100 each for roleplay tonight as well.
So,
So 320 total.
Sweet, awesome.
So thank you
That
very
makes
much,
way there.
guys.
320, not
Oops.
440.
No, 320, not 440. I know you're getting.
Okay.
I know you're getting close, but no.
May have fucked that up.
So 320 XP for everybody. Again, thank you so much, guys, for playing tonight. Great game. That went completely a different direction than I expected with the whole pranking going on.
The smell of panther urine in the morning.
But that was absolutely awesome. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The combat was awesome as well. Well done, guys. That combat encounter was... I used the D&D Beyond's new encounter calculator for it. And that particular encounter was set to be hard. So you guys actually did pretty well. So based on your guys' party makeup, that was supposedly a hard encounter. I don't think it was
Panther sponge.
I don't think it was that difficult in the end, to be honest. But again,
good teamwork. That's
good
what it came
good
down
use.
to.
Yeah, good use of your abilities. Trash. That was awesome, dude. I'd never expected that you would use it in that way. So that was brilliant. So in 2 weeks' time, we will pick up at this point and see our adventurers. See if you can, in fact, get out of the keep now and back to Valon to hand in your contract. Will party killer Gillian, in fact, kill another party? We will
Not
see.
if Neymaris kills him first.
So, guys, that is awesome. Thank you so much. Baz, amazing. Again, awesome dude. And we'll see you next weekend for your game.
Sweet, man. Thank you.
And everyone else, Neon, Savage, cheers, guys, for hanging out. Obviously, different time zones suck balls, but amazing to have you guys part of the game.
It's all
And
good.
chat, thank you for hanging out with us as long as you did. You guys were amazing. Cheers for the support, hanging out and spending some time with us nerds while we play some D&D. Come back and see us again in 2 weeks' time, which will be... Wow, we're going into the next month. Look at that.
Oh boy.
It'll be the
That's right,
7th
right
of
before-
July.
The day before, or the day after, I should say, I need to renew my Twitch Prime.
How nice. The 7th of July is our next game.
I
Same
regret to
time.
inform you, I will not be able to make it.
You won't be able to make it. No problem.
No.
We will sort that out. You will generally stay with the party anyway. We figured that out.
That's right, yeah, from shoulder.
No, I can generally run Aslan. I mean, he doesn't speak too much, so it makes it easy for me.
I thought we were going to tie him up.
So yeah, so 7th will be the next one. Obviously no Aslan, so we'll be running with faux Aslan. Yeah. So thanks, and we'll see you again next time. Everyone else, tomorrow night, gaming back here on Twitch. Not sure what we're playing tomorrow night. Probably some Rainbow Six. Shoot some stuff.
Bye all.
Later, Trash.
Bye.
Later,
Yeah,
Baz.
just-
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah.
I already started out tomorrow. I'm out. See
No
you.
worries, man.
Bye-bye.
I will write up the thing before I forget, before I go to sleep.
Are you gonna
Recap.
close the stream?
I will do it in a minute. But chat, thank you again so much for hanging out with us. I really appreciate the support coming along tonight. Episode 7, Paradym Bold, went reasonably well. We didn't have too many hiccups, which is good. No one died yet.
Yep.
Yet.
Unlikely.
I mean, I eyeballsed up. I fully
Oh,
own
Neon.
that. I totally fucked up the web and thought I was reading off the bite attack. Probably should have just done the bite attack anyway. Would have been more interesting. But anyway,
Yep.
We will see you guys in a couple of weeks for episode 8 of The Abandoned Keep. Until then, thank you very much.